Is it live? Off. Our mics are off. Welcome back to the second live stream of the new year. I'm here with Jake Lyons. I'm Brent Lyons. He's Jake Stoop. Mix it up a little bit. I'm with him all the time.
It's all good.
Hey, Jake, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. That made me in a better mood as well. You can keep messing up like that all the time. I'm good with that. But I cannot wait for this matchup. Arlington comes in hot, a recent loss, but that's fine. Germantown a little bit down in the dumps.
Yeah, Arlington comes in 12-3, 3-0 in the district. Germantown, however, 6-5, 0-3 in the district. So both teams could use a win here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you talked about those standings, Arlington ranked at 37th in the state. They were just close to that top 25 in the state record, sort of like they were last year. Then they fell down because of a recent loss. Germantown, however, outside the top 200 at 214. As I said earlier, they've been down in the dumps recently.
Yeah.
They need a big district win to give them that first one.
And speaking of Arlington's loss, they were sitting right outside the top 25 going into their game last week against Collierville. Won that game by attrition, but then lost to one of the more top-heavy teams in the nation, 67-42, which bumped them back down to 37 in the state. So a win here tonight and a big win would help the Tigers a lot.
And when you lose that veteran experience, 4 players that went to play college basketball, of course those games are going to happen where you just kind of lose confidence.
Yeah.
You get down early and you can't come back because of that veteran leadership that was there all last season, especially in the playoffs. But Germantown also coming off a lot of losses. As I said, 214 in the entire state. They need a big one. The team that Arlington blew out last week by 34 points, they lost to by 20, right? So they have not been good. I would say probably an honest line. If we're bettors out here, Las Vegas would probably put this game at 40. But let's hope that Germantown can make this game closer. But on paper, Arlington should have this one.
And speaking of that Arlington blowout over Collierville, our reporter Brooklyn has a little more on that. We'll send it to her right now.
Last week, the Arlington Lady Tigers went against the Collierville Dragons. The Lady Tigers dominated the Dragons with a score of 71-47. Senior Brittany Wells led the team with 21 points, followed by Turnley Kelsey with 17, and then Jasmine Ross with 11. These 3 big competitors scored more points than what the Collierville Dragons' total score was. Let's see if the Lady Tigers can come out tonight and get a good fight against the Germantown Red Devils. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. I can't lie and say it was easy. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
You get a little bit antsy. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see these ladies get back to action.
Man, and especially this girls team who is just amazing on the court. They come in at 37th in the state. A little bit of a drop from when we last saw them at 26 when they picked up that big win over Collierville. District wins are always huge, but taking an L like that to some top national talent is always rough. So it dropped them back down in the state to 37, but they'll be looking to get back in the win column here tonight and pick up another district win.
And that's why you need good coaching. When you have losses that sort of derail your mentality, derail your momentum, you need that coach who's been there before. And that's exactly what Coach Ashley Shields is going to do for the Tigers tonight. We'll see if they can retake that momentum and slowly inch back to the top 25.
And you know you can't lose momentum when you have 3 10-plus scorers on your team. This team is just so good at rebuilding. They don't even have to rebuild. It's kind of like the we don't rebuild, we reload type thing from the New England Patriots that they used to do with Tom Brady and all these guys. So it's really encouraging to see this team, while they have young guys and the older ones too, still working to thrive together. The Arlington Tigers win the tip, and we're off with our action here tonight. Brittany Wells, per usual, taking up the ball for an easy layup to Jasmine Ross to start this game off.
There's that playmaking Jasmine Ross with that amazing finish. She's taken a huge leap since last season.
And something we saw last game that we are seeing here tonight right away is the press.
Yeah, the press absolutely killed Collierville. They just completely tired them out the entire game, and Germantown having to take an early timeout, they were not ready for it.
It's always not nice when you have to take a timeout less than 30 seconds into the game. So you know that she didn't like that the press was there, and they're definitely going to be talking about how to break that right coming out of the break, and they're already out of the break. So teams like to run short huddles here against the Tigers.
Well, hopefully they already had a preset package ready for this Arlington press. They did not execute it to perfection there. Good timeout in order to warrant Arlington from scoring early and getting out to a big lead.
And if you watch any film on Arlington from the last game, you know that they run the press. They ran it the entire game against Collierville last week, so you know they do it here today. And here's another turnover. Jasmine Ross for an easy layup, no good, but she gets her on board, plays it right back in, padding the stats.
Yeah, what a good bucket by Ross right there. Immediately coming after those 4 points and coming in to get in that press. Good defense by Ross.
Well, Germantown's going to turn the ball over. A little antsy of a pass there, so it'll go back to Arlington. Jasmine Ross has all 4 of the Tigers' points less than a minute into the game. Brittany's going to take the ball up. Brittany Wells, number 4, star guard here for Arlington High School. Kicks it over to another star guard. This team is just full of star guards, if I'm being honest. It's going to be Kenise Wilkins for 3. That's well off the mark.
And she's a volume shooter. You got to give her a little bit of time. When she heats up, she can be lethal from the three-point line. If I'm Arlington, I'm taking that shot all day. Just got to get out those nerves.
It's going to be Trinity Pye that's taking up the ball right now. Taylor Graham is trying to work around, but this Arlington defense is just so good on the wing. They know how to play defense on the outside.
And when you go from playing a full court man-to-man press and come to man-to-man and play so tight right now on the defensive side, Collierville just out of options. They've got to get some ball screens going and move the ball quick, because the pace that they're playing at right now, you're not going to get free shots.
Yeah, Germantown is out of options so far. Collierville was definitely out of options last week too, trying to keep going what they had last time we did this live stream. We don't know what the struggles were for them against the team that they played last week. I honestly can't remember the name. We'll find that for you shortly. But I do know that it was a struggle. 67-42 is never a score that you like to see for the Tigers when you're trying to. 67-42 is never a score that you like to see for the Tigers when you're trying to make it compete for state here. So hopefully getting back in the win column is in the cards tonight.
And a big difference that hopefully Germantown can make is that they did not allow Arlington to go up by, hopefully they don't allow Arlington to go up by 20 in the first quarter. Collierville having to play from behind the entire rest of the game.
Germantown's got the ball inside, no good, but they have a little bit of size here, so they get the offensive rebound, struggle to get it. That's going to be Baher, I believe, with the rebound, number 20. Looked to be a foul. They're going to call it.
And that's a foul that you'll take if you're Arlington. Driving down the court, looking to get a free layup. Germantown easily giving that one away, and I'll take that if I'm Arlington getting 2 free throws, especially with the lethal shooter in Tierney Kelsey.
Yeah, Taylor Graham is going to pick up that foul. It's going to be her first. Yeah, Tierney Kelsey, pretty much automatic for the line. You don't usually want to say that because typically it leads to a miss. So hopefully Hopefully I don't pick up a little curse here.
This is what all great shooters look for, a free trip to the line to get their shot going after the warm-ups. Tierney Kelsey looking to pop off after these 2 early free throws.
And Tierney was taking free throws before the game started, last one on the court before pregame. So, you know, that was something that she wanted to work on. And another press successful for the Tigers as they're going to kick it out to Kenise Wilkins for a mid-range. That's no good. Still trying to figure out her shot, but Germantown's going to get the ball and running.
And that's fine for Kenise Wilkins. She just has to make sure that the shots she's taking are high quality. When you've been getting 3 layups in a row, maybe a pull-up mid-range jumper is not the best shot, but again, her shot kind of takes away any of those questions that you'd have about the shot-making ability, but she's got to be careful.
And Wilkins didn't start last game, but she is going to make her appearance in the starting lineup here tonight. Wonder what Coach Shields was thinking when she put her in there. Maybe she definitely brings a little presence here on the defensive end, knowing that you can see right now she's playing deep outside the three-point line.
Well, Styx Nelson started last week, but Germantown, rather a small team compared to last week.
And speaking of the team that we mentioned that Arlington lost to, Winston-Salem Christian National. They are a team out of North Carolina. So you know anytime that Arlington is going to travel to play out-of-state competition, especially a one-off game over the weekend, it's got to be a really good team trying to build that national resume to help them be ready for state.
Yeah, I believe that was a showcase tournament in Atlanta. Arguably, they probably would have won the tournament if they hadn't been in it. And I would take that all day from Arlington. Even if you lose, you still get that experience against a nationally ranked team, especially from North Carolina, who has a lot of successful women's basketball teams.
Yeah, North Carolina, this team in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, is ranked first in North Carolina. They sit at 22-2 overall for the season. So not a bad loss at all if you're the Tigers. It is 8-0 in the early goings here. The Tigers are up. Germantown not really being able to find success. Even at the free throw line, they couldn't get anything to fall. I'm sure that'll change here, but you have to wonder, is Germantown going to hang around long enough, or is Arlington just going to get off to the breaks?
Checking into your Tigers, number 24, Styx Nelson.
There you go, bringing in Styx Nelson to try to lock up the paint. It seems like they're doing well in the full court press opportunities right now. If they can't take layups, then this might be a long game for the Red Devils.
They look like they know what they're doing as far as trying to break the defensive pressure coming from the top of the key, but they just can't seem to get inside. And there you go, finally getting inside. That is going to be number 5, Kira Lee, picking up the first bucket, and a turnover there for Germantown and a little shove.
And you cannot have that if you're Arlington. If you're going to be able to press successfully and not be scared to be as aggressive as possible, you cannot give up those fouls in the backcourt. Already 4 in this half. 3 more and they'll be in the bonus. Arlington has to limit those if they want to keep up the pressure.
I think it's Anaya White, number 35, who picked up, number 25, Thompson, was the one that dove on the ground to get that turnover, rocking the retro LeBrons. It's kind of weird to say retro for LeBrons, but he's been in the league such a long time that anything that old is pretty retro. Kenise Wilkins has it on the wing, kicks it over to Kelsey. Brittany Wells now has it. She's lethal with the ball. So is Tierney Kelsey.
Tierney Kelsey needs to start hitting some shots, but overall they need to just continue to attack the paint and get layups.
Deep 2 for Kelsey if it goes. That's no good. 5 for the board. Going to go to Germantown. They clear it out. Looking to set it up with a little bit less of a press potentially.
And I may favor the Germantown Red Devils in this half-court play. Arlington instituting a lot of their points in that full-court press, forcing turnovers. When you play half-court basketball, it's a little bit easier to score on this team.
Thompson hands it back off to Lee. Lee has been the main ball operator here for the Red Devils so far this game. The only one who has points on the board so far.
I want to see if Jokia Baker can get involved. She's the biggest girl on this floor. We'll see if she can get involved as the smaller Wells will be guarding her.
Good spin move. Nice grab on the ball. That's going to be Tierney Kelsey forcing the jump ball there for Arlington. Stays with the Red Devils, but it's early in the game and getting that possession arrow for the next time really helps.
And the fact that they're not down big numbers right now, I would say that's a Red Devils win.
Nice take there from number 5, Kira Lee. 3-pointer way off the mark. That was Taylor Graham, number 3, as Brittany Wells is off and running, trying to make something happen in the fast break.
Yeah, the decent thing about that shot is it was so quick and everybody was already back on defense.
Nice little floater from Kelsey. Gets herself on the board as far as non-free throws going. Another turnover there for Germantown. Brittany Wells left wide open for 3. She's going to catch that every time. You can't leave her open. They will count it as a 2, though. I can't see very well from here.
Yeah, if Arlington's shots are falling, especially after you force turnovers, it's going to be a long night.
And I think that is the 5th turnover so far for Germantown. But the score is 12-2. Arlington is up.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
Welcome back. It is a little over midway through the first quarter here at Tiger Stadium, the unofficial name for where we are tonight. It is 12-2. Your Tigers are leading. Germantown ball. Hopefully Germantown can get something going here to keep this game competitive early.
Germantown coming out with a new set to try to break this press. I like it, but it didn't really work long term.
It looks like Arlington came out with a little bit of a different press as well, running 2 men towards the inbounder instead of just one. As Kenise Wilkins lines up, she misses again. 0 for 3 for the night so far. Hopefully she can get going. Still playing real scrappy defense though.
I mean, her missing 3 shots so far and still being up by 10 points, I say that's a win for the Tigers.
Trinity Pye kicks it over to Bell. A big group substitution here. It's going to be Bass with the ball right now.
Brittany Wells absolutely locked in on the defensive side of the ball. Seems like she can guard any single position just because of her toughness and physicality. It's so hard to get past her.
That was going to be Bell from 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound for Germantown, stripped away by Arlington. Brittany Wells out in open court here trying to make something happen.
Again, speaking to the conditioning of this Ashley Shields-led team, they can run down the floor all day.
Tierney Kelsey had a wide open look there. Couldn't knock it down. Still a good shot. I'd take that every time.
Yeah, the conditioning for Coach Ashley Shields is so impressive. And when you play college ball and WNBA ball, the level of conditioning that is required of you compared to middle school and high school is so drastic. Her coming in and emphasizing that you're going to have to run if you're going to play for her is so important to the press, and that's what ultimately leads to all these big wins.
And I think something that's huge is the fact that she has that experience. She knows what it's like to go through this process, which is a testament to why she currently has 4 players playing in college basketball right now, which is pretty huge and a pretty good confidence boost for anybody looking to come join the Arlington Tigers, knowing that she is building success here from the ground up.
Well, if you're not going to run, you're likely not going to play at the next level, and that's why she emphasizes that so much. You've got to be committed and well-driven in order to play for the Tigers.
Man, and boy, do I like some running, so I can respect Ashley Shields and what she's doing over here. Bass is working with it, pass tipped. It's a turnover. Brittany Wells in open court. You know she's gold on that one. Easy one-handed layup for Brittany Wells.
We talked about this. Arlington cannot get out to a 20-point lead in the first quarter if the Red Devils want a chance to come back. They're used to playing down from behind, so we'll see if their experience will help them in this situation.
Finally break the press, but the pass is just a little too high. Still keeps it, though. They're going to set up Thompson inside. Nice up and under layup. Second points of the night, her first. Still a comfortable lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, good move there from Thompson right there to get around the smaller Brittany Wells. She can guard all 5 positions, but it looks like Wells gave up on that play. That's an easy scoop layup there for Thompson.
A bullet pass was thrown by Wells. They reset up now, but that was a rocket that she threw over to Tierney Kelsey. Some questionable mid-range shots so far this game. Think they have a little bit more of a lane, but they don't take it. Questionable shot again there by the Tigers. That was number 32, Megan Lindsay. Brittany Wells with the turnover. Some nice moves trying to get open. Looks like she might take this one herself. What a pass. Oh, can't finish the playoff, but what a pass there by Brittany Wells.
That would have been a good one for the highlights tape. Kelsey just really unaware that pass was coming. Took her a little bit by surprise, which led to leaving that shot short.
Tigers running some of their regular lady rotations here, but number 5 is not on the roster. You think she may be coming from JV, but she's getting some minutes here on varsity. Coach Shields must like what she's been doing in practice because she's up there guarding the point guard right now, high off the half-court press.
Yeah, that's a freshman coming out of Arlington Middle School. She had a very significant role for Coach Jeter's led team in that middle school realm. Obviously, you're a little bit short on the shooting guard position, not very experienced, showing her and Taylor Miller some action early today.
Megan Lindsay looked like she might have given a little push there to number 23, Trinity Pye, but nonetheless, it's going to go back to Arlington. Another turnover for the Red Devils.
Okay.
Half-court shot from Brittany Wells, well off the mark, but she gave it her best effort. The score, 14-4. Your Tigers are up.
Right now, the Arlington Lady Tigers are in the lead with the win, 14-4. Brittany Wells has scored the most points right now with other teammates right behind her. But let's see who will win or have the most points this next quarter.
Thank you, Brooklyn. And that is going to be a three-pointer from the freshman coming off the JV squad, making her presence felt here in her first action.
Yeah, what a shot there by Bailey Brown. Wide open, but you cannot do that often. She's a sharpshooter.
Bailey Brown is the name, but Germantown will remember here tonight, making a three in her first action on the varsity squad. Missed shot in transition there for the Tigers. Out and running now, trying to find the ball. That is Thompson. She's going to clear it out. No fast break there. Quick three-pointer. That's good. Kira Lee with the three.
Good answer there for Germantown, coming back and answering that three-pointer by Bailey Brown. If they're going to want to keep up, they've got to continue to score. Arlington limiting shots from them is not going to help them.
Bad shot selection there from Lindsay. Taylor Miller is back in the game, number 14.
I believe she's 0 for 4 now. Missing a plethora of shots right now. Just not the best shot selection if you want to get out to an early lead.
Sydney Hurt with the board. Miller working the ball inside with Brittany Wells out. No good. Looking for the rebound. It is going to go back to Germantown. Germantown keeping it within 10 right now. So they're doing what they need to do to keep it competitive, but not doing anything to bring it back in.
And a little bit of an inexperienced group here for Arlington. Brittany Wells not in the game. Tierney Kelsey not in the game. Jasmine Ross not in the game either. They got to keep this lead up.
Good stand there by Hurt, keeping them away from going into the paint. On the floor foul is going to be called, though. No shots, but that is the 5th foul on Arlington so far this half.
Yeah, 5th foul from Arlington. It's been a while since the last one, though. At least it didn't come on that press.
It is going to be a 1-and-1 for the – nope, never mind. Not 1-and-1. That's just the way they have it set up for their inbound play. We'll see if it works here for a bucket. Thompson's going to be side out.
Looks like Sydney Hurt fell asleep on that play.
That's going to be Baker for the mid-range. No good. Rebound, Miller. Good board there from the point guard. She finds Brown inside. Easy lay-in for April James there, getting herself on the board for the first time tonight.
Again, an inexperienced group still able to be up by 12 right now, not surrendering the huge lead that they have at the moment. Being able to rest your 3 or 4 best players here for Arlington is such a good luxury to have. The depth that this Arlington team has is capable of running anybody out of the gym if they can keep that press up.
A little cross there by Miller. She knew it was going on, but couldn't finish the play there. Gave it a little smile. We'll see if she goes down and makes her pay for the little cross. Miller inside with the Euro. Tried to flop it, but she's going to get it in. Made up for the cross there, and then some with the Euro. I don't know what Germantown was trying to do there. Tried to throw a little flop move, didn't do much.
Kira Lee just toying with Taylor Miller right now. But as they say in golf, you got to putt for the dough, drive for the show, and right now she's driving. She just can't finish at the moment.
Another shot by Miller. That's off the mark. Besides the 1-3, 2 threes, one from Brown, one from Wells, Arlington has not been on the money from 3 tonight. We saw that was a big part of their game against Collierville. Thompson pulls up for 3. That's no good. It's going to be Trinity Pye with the board. Floater inside. That's good. No backboard here. She's going to take it right in.
Arlington allowing the Lady Red Devils so many second chance opportunities. A smaller lineup in for the Tigers right now is surrendering all those rebounds, and it looks like they're just watching it. They're not boxing out. They're not ball chasing. They've got to have some more intensity on defense.
Miller is running the offense by herself right now. Another shot. That's her 3rd straight. That's no good. Learning curve here for the freshman right now. Fast break opportunity. Good block. Called foul. Good call by the referee. That's going to be 2 shots at the line.
And I think that's just a frustration there, foul there by Sydney Hurt. You've given up a 4 run at this point. They've been able to score in your lane that you're supposed to defend. Good play right there to warrant that momentum. They likely would have gone to a press out of that make as well.
6-foot junior Sydney Hurt picked up the foul right there. 0 for 3 now for the game from the free throw line. Taylor Graham's going to miss that one, looking to pick up the second here, as Tierney Kelsey is going to sub back in, as well as I believe no one else.
That's it, yeah.
Just Miller subbed out. Saw somebody by Shields, was seeing who it was. That one's no good, off the back iron. Tierney Kelsey's going to be running the offense now. Let's see if she can get them cooking. Brown with the pump fake, back to Kelsey. Set it up top with James. Open, Brown for 3. No good, but it was right on the money.
That one was right on the money, and she's been playing 7 minutes already.
Tierney Kelsey knew right where the ball was going. They're going to give it to Arlington. Looked like it was pretty clearly off Arlington, but they'll take it. I'm not going to be the one that stops them.
Arlington catching a break there, allowing Germantown to drive down the floor and have a chance at an open bucket, but fortunately the refs call one for them. That's a break.
Kelsey, sidestep 3, no good. Nothing's fallen for the Tigers from beyond the arc tonight. Brown playing good D on the guard. Pye.
The thing is, with Brittany Wells not in this game, you have no one to initiate the offense. It looks like they're just moving the ball around the perimeter and taking the best open 3 they can get.
Graham, no good. It's going to go out of bounds. Call it off the Red Devils. Big group substitution here. The only one of the starters not coming. Well, Dorsey's going to come in along with 2 of the starters. Kenise Wilkins as well as Jasmine Ross. Brittany Wells still sitting down, giving her some extra minutes of rest.
And that's fine when you're playing against a team like this who, if you don't play Brittany, it might be a little bit tighter, but they still get that opportunity to initiate offense without her in the game.
That's something they're going to have to work on, because Wells is going to need a rest in some of these bigger games when she's the one directing the offense and she's the main target of the defense. So when you get to these bigger games, it's going to be important to have this depth coming off the bench, and this is a good game to work on that for the Tigers.
And remember, stopping clock in high school basketball, once you get fouled, the clock stops, and now they're already in the bonus with 3.5 left in this half. Germantown with a huge break, as there's only, as I said, 3 minutes left in this half. If they can continue to drive the ball, Arlington giving up easy foul calls in the backcourt, we can see Germantown make a little bit of a run here and cut it under 10.
Coach Shields still teaching right off the bench, shot form, different things important for basketball. Constantly coaching, constantly teaching, even during the game. First free throw made for Germantown so far tonight. It's going to be number 23, Trinity Pye.
And I do like how Shields is playing this, because if you allow Germantown to come back, they're going to use all of their energy at expense to try to score the ball. And once you put your starters back in the game, it's going to be really tough for them to continue that momentum, as it seems like Arlington, once you have all those starting 5 in and you take good shots, good quality shots, then get out to a run.
Journey Williams subs into the game for Germantown. Tierney Kelsey has the ball up top for the Tigers, trying to get something going. It's been a little rough shooting night for them. They're still up 21-11.
Arlington taking it slow. Good move there. Seems like almost every time Germantown has had the ball recently, Arlington has elected to foul them.
Kelsey working up top, trying to get something going. Finds Jasmine Ross, out to Kenise Wilkins for 3. No good again, over the top of the backboard. Another miss.
And I see positives in this way of play for both sides. Arlington taking it slow, trying to get a good shot, but you also let Germantown rest so they can do things like this. They got more time to plan out what they want to do on the press break.
Offensive rebound there for the Germantown Red Devils, and it's going to be Madison Atcher putting it in.
And that's the problem with not having Brittany Wells in these half-court sets. You pretty much don't have a guaranteed bucket when Brittany's not in the game. You would if she was, because she's so good at driving and kicking. But right now, there's no one that can get in the paint, so there's not really a good thing here for Arlington in the half-court set.
Yeah, and Arlington might need to bring Wells back in to kind of direct this offense so that they can kind of get their feet back under them so that they can build this lead back up before halftime.
And I do like Brittany coming out in that second half being completely ready. It looks like she's about to sub in now, trying to gain that lead. Let's see if Germantown, now that they're rested because Arlington has been in those half-court sets, let's see if they can hold the Tigers and keep it within single digits. If they were to allow Arlington to get back out to a big lead, I don't know if they could come back.
Yeah, and I think something that's so important for the Tigers right now is, even though you want to play Brittany a lot, is the fact that they need to get these younger guys some minutes. Need to get them in there for those deeper games when they're going to need that depth. So that's why I think it's so important.
Yeah, me as well. We'll see if Brittany can make a huge difference coming back in the game.
Brittany wide open for three at the top of the key. Elects to pass it out. Out of bounds there for April James. It's going to go back to the Germantown Red Devils. Full court press still
Germantown again electing to go deep, but Brittany Wells eliminates that possibility, coming in and making an instant impact.
Another mid-range jumper. That one for James, no good. Jasmine Ross, ball falls right in her lap. It's going to be a foul called.
And I do like this offense that Arlington is playing. It just seems like they're a lot faster on all cylinders. You just cannot allow Germantown to cut this lead any closer to 8, because we actually have a conversation about Germantown coming back if you allow her to.
Brittany Wells kicks it over Kelsey. Now Wilkins has it back to Kelsey, trying to get something operating. Kelsey inside. That one falls through. A little floater to the inside.
And Germantown not playing phase. They continue to play with a lot of poise, not trying to rush it. They're playing at their own pace. And when you play against Arlington, that is so hard to do. I'm glad they found their footing, because we've got a better game because of it.
Leon Kelsey here, way back behind the three-point line, pushing her up towards midcourt. Great defense here by Kelsey, going to force the ball out of bounds, and that's going to the Tigers.
What a great play by Tierney Kelsey. Obviously, she did her work. She read the scouting report. She cannot dribble with her left hand, and that's all she did. She did it enough to where she was all the way at half court, playing completely horizontal. Great defense there by Kelsey to force her left and force the turnover.
Pye and Thompson come back into the game for Germantown as the starters for Arlington have came back out. They're going to call on the floor foul here, and while we have an opportunity, me and Jake, and alongside Roman, who's not here with us, but he's here with us in our heart, want to talk to you about Men in Hoodies. For all your sports needs, check out the Men in Hoodies show on AHS Tiger Life and the Men in Hoodies podcast on Spotify, Apple, and Anchor. Me and Jake and Roman love what we do, so we're really excited we get to share that with you guys. Brittany Wells has the ball at the top of the key, trying to get this offense going. Been in a little bit of a slump. Thought about shooting, doesn't, takes the floater, that's no good. Rebound's going to be cleared by Journey Williams.
Again, this half-court set opportunity favors Germantown because they're able to play good defense when they're slowed down and playing their own pace. Arlington's trying to play fast, but Germantown playing it well right now.
Pye called for a screen, didn't get it. Still working with the ball. Euro inside, no good. It's going to be a rebound by April James.
No matter what, still a good opportunity. I would take that all day.
I think it's a blessing that Arlington may be having one of their rougher shooting nights here tonight against a Germantown team. They kind of get to work on their flaws here and try to figure it out. Wilkins for three again. That's no good. 0 for 5 from 3 here tonight for Wilkins. 2-on-1 situation here. Wilkins does a good job of holding them. Pye with the ball.
That's a
Looked
double
like
dribble.
a double dribble. It's a double dribble. She knew it too.
Yeah, she knew it right when she did it.
Smile on her face.
She cannot surrender those turnovers right now. If you're trying to come back, especially at the end of this half, you've got to build all momentum so that Arlington has more to talk about at the halftime report. So we'll see what they can do here as Arlington will hopefully run out the clock, and that's a win for Germantown, not giving Arlington a bunch of opportunities to score.
Well,
and then there's Brittany Wells.
Then there's Brittany Wells, who finds a perfect thread the needle pass to April James and caught the Germantown defense sleeping, which they kind of thought that they were going to hold the clock out, so that's on them. Great play by Arlington.
I think Arlington did too, but when you see open opportunities like that, it's hard not to do it, especially when you got Wells on your team.
Thompson running down the paint, can't get it. Here comes Tierney Kelsey in for the layup, trying to run up the score at the end. Jasmine Ross going to get the offensive board. James for the mid-range. They're going to get it. 14-point lead now to end the half. Unless a half-court shot heave here by
And Germantown surrendering 4 points just because they didn't want to hold the ball on the offensive end. That is a lack of coaching right there. You've got to know to hold the ball at the end of the clock if you want to be able to hold this lead. But now they're down 4 because of those last 30 seconds.
Well, the score is 27-13. Your Tigers are up.
Broadcasting team here with student commentators, student cameramen, and women.
Perfect. Yes.
Welcome back to the second half of action. Well, halftime of action. The boys are warming up for their game against Germantown later here tonight. It is 27-13. Germantown is up. Germantown is not up. They're down.
And we are still here at halftime. Again, I want to just recourse over what happened at the end of the half. Germantown not holding the ball for the last 40 seconds of the game, and they surrendered 4 points because of it. And now because of that situation, they go down 14. After all the momentum they had, that's a big loss for them.
All right, and while we have this opportunity, we are going to toss to the Coach Shields documentary package. Let's see what she has to say.
All right, I'm here on the set of Coach's Corner. I'm joined by Coach Shields. She is our girls varsity basketball coach. Coach Shields, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it?
My name is Coach Ashley Shields. I'm from Memphis. I'm a Hall of Famer here. I graduated from Melrose High School. I went to Southwest Junior College here. I was the first girl to get drafted out of junior college after 1 year, straight to the WNBA. So I made history, and I had a great career, a professional career. I'm a WNBA champion. Played with Detroit Shock, but I got drafted by the Houston Comets. And just kind of took my talents overseas as well. Played overseas 13 years. Got 5 championships overseas all over, and now I'm back home. I'm giving back, and I'm the head coach at Arlington High School. This is my 3rd season, so.
Wow, and then what brought you back to Arlington?
I mean, just, well, I got a phone call during the pandemic, and saying that they needed a coach at the time, and at the time I was the assistant coach at Houston High School. And you know, I just felt like it was a great opportunity, and I took it, and it's been cool ever since.
Yeah, and then over this off season, I'm sure you guys have been training, getting ready for the season. What are some, or who are some big people that have kind of stepped up into lead roles that could help the team this season?
Some of the leaders I have this year is we have our point guard, Brittany Wells, and we have another guard, Jasmine Ross. She's a senior this year, and then we just kind of have some of the lower classmen that just kind of stepping up to the plate. Some of my juniors, Tierney Kelsey, Camberly Nelson, Sydney Hurd. So those type of players, you know, they trying to be leaders every single day.
And then kind of with leadership, how important is it for them and for you to kind of have this leadership and family type feel for the season?
It's very important when you have that bond and chemistry on the floor. Of course, it makes it easier. You have that connection on the floor. And that's just, the best part about it is being a family, being a team, and those are the important things, and that's what makes it, much better on the floor when you're bonding and have that chemistry off the floor as well.
And then what are your goals for this season for this team?
For the most part is, just compete, develop the players and just go out each game and play every game like it's our last. That's what I teach them. And like I said, it starts by competing. When you compete, then you understand the winning part. And after you compete, then that's when the wins begin. No matter the losses, it's how you lose. And so that's what I always stress on them. You go out there and you fight until the end, no matter what. So, but my goals for sure, is just to get them better. Of course, every, kid want to win a state championship. Every coach want to win the state championship. So that's our biggest thing, just taking one game at a time, getting back to the state tournament and grabbing it this time and making sure every senior gets a scholarship going to school. So that's the last, most important thing after the season, make sure everybody is comfortable, they're happy, and going where they want to be. So.
Yes, ma'am. And do you think state championship is in the works for this season?
I have no doubt. I have no doubt in my mind.
Well, this is going to wrap it up for Coach's Corner. Thank you to Coach Shields for joining us on the show today. We're going to send you back to the desk.
A deal has been reached between the Germantown Municipal Schools District and Memphis Shelby County Schools. This deal decides the future of 3 Germantown schools that are currently under control of MSCS.
AHS Tiger Life reporter Noah Sershin joins us from MSCS headquarters to break down what was all in this agreement.
Well, after a decades-long dispute, Germantown now has control of their namesake schools. It's been a very long debate between the city of Germantown and Shelby County. This has even garnered attention from lawmakers in Nashville. Let's go back to March of 2022 when Republican State Representative Mark White and Senator Brian Kelsey sponsored Senate Bill 2315. This bill would prevent a school district from operating within the geographical boundaries of another school district without an agreement in place. Germantown Elementary, Middle, and High School were the focus of this bill. Fast forward to November of last year, and an agreement was reached on the 3G schools. In the agreement, the Germantown Municipal School District would pay $5 million to gain control of Germantown Elementary and Middle schools. MSCS would still keep Germantown High. Also in this agreement, Germantown will help pay the cost of a new high school for MSCS. This will be the first high school that MSCS will have in 10 years. This replacement high school will be built in Cordova. There will also be a 9-year transition period with no phase-in or phase-out plan. This agreement passed unanimously with the Memphis Shelby County Schools Board. The Shelby County Board of Commissioners backed this agreement with a vote on December 14th. Now, this 3G deal obviously impacted thousands of students. Some students made their voices heard speaking out against this deal. Now, coming up in the matchup of the boys game, you'll hear from Calvin Nicholson, who was a part of the Save the G campaign. But for now, reporting from MSCS headquarters in Midtown Memphis, I'm Noah Sershin, AHS Tiger Life News.
AHS Tiger Life's coverage of Arlington High School basketball is brought to you in part by CrossFit Reveille. Workouts made simple at CrossFit Reveille. Visit www.rev901.com. The score is 27-13, Arlington on top.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone, whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
Second half here of the Arlington Tigers versus Germantown Red Devils game. Score is currently 27-13. Jake, what do you think the keys to getting back in this game are for Germantown?
For Germantown, they have to institute that press break and continue to do what they've been doing all that second quarter, and obviously you can't give up easy layups. You're going to have to get a quality shot every single time down the floor if you want to get back on defense to prevent Arlington from getting out fast.
And I think right now we have Brooklyn Sideline with one of the managers for the Arlington basketball team. Let's send it over to Brooklyn right now.
Hi, and welcome back. Today I'm just going to ask, so how is the game going so far?
It's going good. I feel like we can improve on defense and, work harder and work together more.
And how do you think they can improve during the second half?
Defense definitely step up, trap, and just make better shots and get to the middle.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you, Brooklyn, for that halftime report. And yeah, the Tigers did play some steady defense, but of course, picking that up a little more, finishing the traps. When Germantown broke it, they were off to the races, even if they didn't finish the shot off. So that would be a good key to success for the second half for the Tigers.
Well, keep in mind, Brittany Wells was not in the game for 8 minutes of action, and they're still up 14. I would expect that Ashley Shields, sort of like last week, they had the game won, they had it won, and they were pressing till the end of the fourth quarter. They did not let up. I expect the exact same thing tonight, and they might get more inexperienced groups there, but also I think Shields wants to win this game big. We could see this get out of hand quickly.
Starters back out on the court to start the second half. We'll see if they have some renewed energy. Main storyline, Kenise Wilkins has gone 0 for 5 from 3 tonight. Usually one of the more steady shooters on this Arlington team. 0 for 5 to start the night. We'll see if she can get it going here in the second half.
Germantown getting the ball first. We'll see what offense they plan to do in the second half. We'll see if they mix it up, but they had that slow and steady approach, which you really have to have when you're only 6 and 5. You've got to take it slow, take your time, and get the best quality shot possible. If you can slow this Arlington team down, you do have a shot, but if you allow Arlington to play at their pace, it's going to be really hard to stay ready and stay hydrated, as this team likes to run you out of the court.
Ladies having fun here, waiting for the second half to start, jamming along to some music. Refs are not back out on the court yet, so they're just enjoying themselves while they wait for the second half of action to get started.
They probably had to get some dinner, maybe made a quick McDonald's run. I don't know what it was, but they had to prepare for the next game, which is Germantown and Arlington boys, which should be high intensity. They need to be as well fed as possible.
And man, I was talking to them before the game, so hopefully we made a good relationship, so they'll bring me some of my own.
There you go. Maybe they'll get us some food. That'd help us out a lot.
On the court right now for Germantown, it is going to be lead number 5, number 23 Trinity Pye, along with Thompson number 25. I'm trying to read these numbers off. Baker number 20, and there's deep back there, not vibing, but all by herself, number 3, Taylor Graham. Starters for Arlington back on the court: Kenise Wilkins, Jasmine Ross, Tierney Kelsey, Brittany Wells, and Taylor Miller. The refs are back out to a standing ovation.
Rarely do refs get a standing ovation, and they're late now, which people should be mad, but you've got to be glad they're back on the court. We get to see some Tiger and Red Devil action.
You can't be mad at these refs. They're great guys.
I like their facial hair as well. That's pretty on point.
Out here doing their job. They're doing a great job here tonight. Been a pretty well-called game so far here. Not ready were the Tigers after that long break. Germantown gets off 2 easy points to bring it back down to 12 to start the second half.
They came out with a little intensity there. We're a lot faster on that break.
Tamara Thompson.
It's going to be Miller at the top, kicks it over to Ross, who loses the ball out of bounds. It's going to go back to Germantown here with a chance to cut it back to a 10-point lead.
And I know Brittany Wells got that talk. Try to get everybody involved, but when she is not initiating the offense, it seems like everybody just stands around. They need Brittany to get involved, and I think if you're Coach Shields, you've got to put the ball in her hands as much as possible, even if you want to get those younger players experienced.
It is going to be press here for Arlington per usual. Graham and Pye are in the back here. Graham and Lee, excuse me. It's going to be Thompson catching the outside into the lane. And no good.
You got to have that one if you're the Red Devils. As you said, wide open layup. That one's got to fall.
Brittany trying to operate mid-range jumper. That's good. Silky smooth jumper there from Wells getting it to fall.
Yeah, that's automatic right there. And even she didn't get a wide open fast break layup. She had a step back mid-range. It does not matter. You cannot let her cross the three-point line if you want to keep her from scoring.
Breaking the press here early and often is Germantown, but just an overadvertent turnover there.
And it looks like the thing I said at the halftime report, you got to break that press, but once you get past it, you can't turn the ball over.
Kelsey for three, no good. Shooting from the three-point line is still a struggle here. Jasmine Ross kicks it over. Open for what looks to be deep two. They will call it a two.
Yeah, good ball movement there. Again, Brittany Wells was the reason for that shot. Could have had a three-pointer of her own, faked it and gone to the basket, but gets Jasmine Ross on the board with a three-pointer of her own.
Turnover by Germantown. Ball back on Arlington's side. It's now up to a 16-point game, highest lead of the game so far for the Tigers. As a timeout is called, the score is 31-15. Arlington on top.
It's here at Arlington Community Schools,
where we thrive on creativity. We take the scattered pieces
to build something great.
We work together to challenge ourselves
and each other, defining who we are and who we want to be.
We rely on technology to learn where we came from,
to see where we're going. We adapt
because we know there's a world of opportunity for all.
We thrive under pressure
to make our future great.
We are Arlington.
Think,
create,
achieve.
Welcome back. Scores 31-15, Arlington on top. Germantown head coach in that break, livid at her team. Turnovers a big issue so far for them tonight. Just blameless turnovers, throwing the ball to where nobody is. They need to fix that if they want any chance of bringing back what seems to be a very tolerable game for them.
Yeah, and I mean, we look at the Collierville game last week. It was a lot worse for the other team that played Arlington, but tonight, seems like they're doing well. Arlington winning by 24 points last week. It's only a 16-point spread right now. If Germantown can continue to get on the board, it doesn't matter how fast the Tigers score, the Red Devils will have a shot.
Arlington flips guards across the wings, sets up a wide-open Miller pump fake, working it out back to the ball handler Wells. Kicks over to Wilkins, her 6th three of the night, no good again. That's not on the money tonight, but offensive rebound for Arlington. Another three, that one's no good. Another offensive rebound. Wells works it back out. Kenise Wilkins lines up her 7th three, another one off the money. And another offensive rebound for the Tigers. Let's see if they can
give it back to Wilkins.
Wells has the ball. Easy money sniper no matter where it is on the field, on the court. No matter what, I'm sure she'd be good at football too.
And that's a high-quality shot from Wells when a contested three may not be.
Turnover. Ross makes it a 20-point game.
And that fast, Arlington goes up on top. It's so hard to play against this Arlington team because you cannot afford to make a mistake.
It's going to be Pye with the ball. Spin move inside. Foul. I thought I heard the slap. No call. Offensive rebound here.
And that's the exact same move that Brittany Wells made on the other end, except Brittany Wells knew how to finish. Good play there by Wells. Just shows off the talent she has compared to the rest of the field.
My bad, Jake. Thompson kicks it into Baker, and a jump ball is called. It's going to go Arlington's way. Possession belongs to Germantown next time around.
And again, it was a 14-point game at halftime. And those 4 points that they let get away from them, I'm telling you, those could be crucial here if Germantown wants to make a run. But Arlington getting the first half momentum at the end of the clock gave them all the momentum they have right now.
It's been all Wells and Ross here to start the second half. Miller with the ball up top, out to Wilkins. Wilkins struggled tonight from the three-point line, 0 for 7 so far.
And that's just her again. She's sort of like a Dylan Brooks. She's hot when she makes it, but until then, it's going to be a rough start for her. See if she can get one more open one, hit the glass or hit iron, but we'll see if she can get one on the board.
Jasmine Ross working inside with a nice little Euro. That's no good. Fighting for the rebound is Miller, and Ross cleared out. Germantown on the break. Let's see if they can get it this time. No foul called. Brittany Wells apparently gets her hand on the ball. Off and running here, Tierney Kelsby, Jasmine Ross in the open court.
And Brittany Wells able to contort her body there to block the ball. It hit off the backboard as well and able to not foul. Good play by Wells.
Lines up for three. That's good. I said easy money sniper from anywhere on the field. And even though no one is shooting well from three tonight, her last name is Wells, which means she can do it well.
I mean, again, Arlington just completely laying it on Germantown right now. And you have to score against this team if you want a shot. Even last week, Collierville's problem was not the scoring column because they were able to put up 40-plus against the Tigers. Now Arlington not allowing them a lot of points, but their defense just can't keep up with Arlington's offense, and that's the issue. You have to be hitting on both sides of the court if you want to beat this team, especially a team this good.
Yeah, the score has dramatically increased since last time we were away from you guys, it was 27-12. It is now 38-15. Big swing here for the Tigers, 11-2 run. Brittany Wells and Jasmine Ross doing all the work here. Wells 7 second half points so far. Ross with 4, leading the Lady Tigers to a 23-point lead.
Good press break by Germantown. This has not been their problem. Let's see if they can initiate some offense here and get some points on the board.
They have done extremely well at breaking the press. It's that right there that has haunted them all night, throwing the ball to nobody.
And I think that's also, I keep talking about Coach Shields and her coaching ability, but I think you can attest to that as well. Arlington sort of playing a little bit more lax on the full court press, allowing Germantown to get across, but then that's where they initiate the half court press that really takes a lot of momentum away.
Tierney Kelsey with the mid-range jump up. That's good, up 25 now. There.
Looked like a back court right there, but missed opportunity there.
Good save. Germantown clears it. It's a 3v2 now, 4v2. Try to get the no-looker. We'll count it. We'll give her the no-looker in the stat sheet. That's going to be Thompson on the other end of that assist.
And you're taught not to dribble there when you're that close to the bucket, but looks like that helped her out, gave her a little more space.
Miller trying to get going. That's no good. Rolling around for the rebound. Jasmine Ross gets in there for the steal. Tries to put it up. Tough lay.
Looked like on that play she moved her pivot foot, but ref does not see it. It was close to a foul. Looks like that's where the focus was.
I don't know what Germantown's thinking right now. Cross-court passes are something you typically never want to do, and especially throwing it in Brittany Wells' direction is definitely not a good idea.
No, absolutely not, but I feel like they can throw it anywhere, and Brittany Wells is just going to be there. She's going to find where to be every single time. That's just that veteran leadership Arlington Tigers have at the point guard slot.
Justin Jefferson catch there on the steal for Wells. Tierney Kelsey from 3, that's good. Laced up a 3-ball right there.
And that quickly, in the matter of 5 minutes, the lead is now up to almost 30 points. Reminds me of that Georgia game last night a little bit. Through those turnovers, through bad plays in the offensive end, they were just able to continually score and stay consecutive. The defense just keeps Germantown from scoring, and that's why you got 30 points right here.
Germantown with another turnover. It's not looking good. Just not being patient when it comes to passing the ball, forcing the ball somewhere that isn't necessarily necessary if you're catching my drift.
As we talked about, Coach Shields not laying off the pressure. They're up 30 right now, but they're playing the exact same offense with the starting lineup in the game.
That was number 32, Megan Lindsay, no good from 3. Pressure deep. Arlington forces another turnover. I don't know how many turnovers they have at this point tonight, but I feel like it's pretty one-sided, isn't it, on the turnover category?
Oh, absolutely. And when you have that point guard in Wells, it's a lot easier to not forfeit turnovers, especially when you cross half court. Germantown's way of playing is that slower pace, allowing them to get good shots, but Arlington scoring too fast. It doesn't matter how many points they scored.
Good drive by Styx Nelson. Can't get it to go, though. Germantown's going to try and get some points on the board. Foul is called.
Foul charge to the Tigers.
If Germantown can get hot and get hot quick, they have a shot. I'm a Falcons fan, so I know what it's like to blow leads. Hopefully Arlington does not do that just for the sake of this game, but at the same time, if you let off the gas, this Germantown team has that capability of scoring in bunches, so you never know. Arlington, I like that they're not laying off the pressure just to warrant anything from that happening.
And 10 draws the foul on 10. Tierney Kelsey called for the foul on Cameron Bell. Sends her to the line. 0 for 1 on her first free throw. See if she can grab the second one here. No good. 0 for 2 there. Tierney Kelsey clears the board. Out and running are the Tigers. Spin move in, step out. Brittany Wells up top. Back to Kelsey. She hit her last one. That one's good. 30-point burger right there. 31-pointer.
Not even the end of the third quarter yet. Arlington again pressing and forcing a turnover almost. So close. Germantown just out of options. And the ref just had a fluke.
Okay, they're going to give it to Germantown.
Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious. That would have been bad. Refs are doing a great job tonight.
He was probably thinking about that burger he had at halftime.
I'm still waiting on mine. Double team here. Laying it on there.
So much pressure attacking them at the sideline. It's just too easy here for Arlington.
And then one of those ill-advised passes that Germantown's been given tonight. Arlington tried to give one of those. First shot hits off the bottom of the backboard. Second one draws the foul, just like they drew it up.
They haven't had one of those layups in a while. I think that took her by surprise how open she was. She was under the basket by the time she got that one up. Just did not expect to be that wide open. And when Arlington goes on this type of run, I mean, keep in mind, it was like, what was the halftime score, like 26-12? They scored 5 points this half, and when that happens, you just don't get used to scoring the ball, and it takes you by surprise. Arlington playing this perfectly.
Take a quick moment to shout out to all the students running cameras, behind the scenes stuff for us tonight. They're doing an excellent job here, as you just saw that graphic on screen with total points. Doing a great job here tonight.
Bailey
So
Brown,
are the Tigers.
freshman, back on the floor, looking to get some of that inexperience in.
3 lined up for Megan Lindsay. They're going to give it to her for 3. Bounced off the side of the backboard, but decided to fall.
You got to give her that one. She's been trying it all season. She finally gets one on the home court in front of the fans.
Pressure is incredibly heavy here for the Tigers.
And I think this is just an elite team. Elite team playing against inexperience is going to work out like this most times you play.
Bell tried to drive big Rick away from Wells, dives to the floor for it. On top of her, they call the jump ball. It's going to go Germantown's way.
And I do respect the Red Devils right now. Even though they're down and out of it at this point, they're still playing with a lot of heart. They're still diving for those loose balls, attacking on the defensive end. I love this intensity right now by Germantown. As we said, unfortunately, they've had 5 losses already, barely over a 500 record in the standings at the moment. They're used to playing by behind, and they're used to trying to stay in the games, getting down early. So I really like the way Germantown's playing right now. They're playing with a lot of intensity and elusiveness.
Yeah, and Jake, so you said earlier how you're a Falcons fan. You
Correct.
think they can come back. Do you think that's out of the cards now?
Well, seeing how it's only happened one time in NFL history and we're not even playing football, I doubt it, but you never know. It's a possibility. Anything could happen.
28-3, I think, would equivalent to 51-17 in Basketball Reference. So
I think so as well, but when you look at it, football, they get more points every time you score. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be maybe a little bit in favor of the football side.
I think that this Germantown team could beat that Falcons team, though. So
well, do they have anybody named Tom Brady? Anybody equivalent to Tom Brady?
Well, I know that the Tigers aren't down, but I would definitely say that Brittany Wells is the equivalent to Tom Brady in this situation.
Germantown does not have Tom Brady, but we'll see if Tom Brady blows that lead today. Where's Julian Edelman, too? I can't find one.
Enjoying retirement, buddy.
Same with Rob.
No early retirement here tonight for the starters. Brittany Wells still out there, the only starter on the floor right now, getting some minutes in that she lacked in the second quarter.
And I like this lineup a lot better than what they have at the end of the second quarter. That time they took out everybody but Brittany. This time they took out everybody but Brittany. I said the same thing twice.
It's all right,
They
Jake.
had everybody in but Brittany. I like this lineup right here, trying to get everybody involved.
James for the buzzer beater. It falls.
Luck of the draw, man.
3 or 2. They're going to count it for 2. The score is 53-17. Arlington Tigers on top of Germantown, heading to the 4th.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
Red Devils again. Let's go over these standings. Arlington currently 12-3, 3-0 in the district. Germantown at the bottom of Region 4A, District 15 at 0-3. If the lead stands as it stands right now, Germantown will move to 0-4, Arlington and 4-0. And I know we talked about the Tigers' loss to that nationally ranked team from North Carolina, but really all that matters is these district wins. If you can get the top seed in your district, you are destined to do well. Rebound there by James, as well as just pushing it up the floor. Again, Wells is the only current starter on the floor right now, and I really like this look, trying to get everybody involved with her playmaking ability. Brown for three. That one's up and no good. Again, right off the back iron. She's been close, 1 for 3 at the time. Using that experience that she used in middle school, translating it to high school right now with those open three-point shot-making ability, and she's doing well. I really like that Coach Shields is getting her involved right now.
Sorry, Jake, I'm back. Didn't mean to step away there for a second.
You're good, you're good.
3 ball, well off the money there. It's going to be Brown with the board. Had some solid minutes here tonight. Looks like she'll see some more here in the fourth quarter alongside Brittany Wells, who's still on the court.
Wells just having fun at this point. Ill-advised shot. She's laughing about it. Taylor Miller on the bench laughing about it as well. When you're up 40, you can take off the gas a little bit, but I expect Shields is a little bit mad at that shot.
Yeah, I was about to say there's only one person was mad at that shot, but I think that it was made up by Hurt's massive block there.
What a block there by Sticks Nelson.
Sticks Nelson, you're correct. They're both on the floor.
If we're doing Grizzlies comparisons, that's a little bit of Jaron Jackson Jr. right now, who should make the All-Star game, by the way. I could have a pitch for him, averaging 4 blocks a game in the last 10. Sticks Nelson looked a little bit like him right there.
Germantown trying to find the right shot for them, which has been a big part of their night tonight, trying to find the right shot for them. Maybe they'll find it here late in this game. Lee's got the ball, trying to lure Brown to sleep. Pushes up one, and probably the most circus shot of them all. Finds its way down the bottom of the net.
Journey Williams, good shot right there. Tough shot in the paint.
There's the foul. It's going to be called on Journey Brown, the one who just made that shot on the other end.
Number 4,
Taylor Miller,
be 2
the
shots.
freshman at the line. We'll see if she can hit 2 to try to get this lead back close to 40 points.
And while we're at the free throw line, we have an opportunity to send it over to our sideline reporter, Brooklyn Criswell. What do you have for us?
Hi guys, we are just started the fourth quarter and the Arlington Lady Tigers are still in the lead 54-19. They blew through the third quarter with Brittany Wells and Tierney Kelsey with the most points. Let's see if they can keep that up with the fourth quarter.
Thank you, Brooklyn. We will see if they can keep it up. As it is no starters left. Well, Kenise Wilkins has came back into the game here. Maybe we'll see if she can get that three-point stroke going late in the game.
I expect that'll be the focus as she gets a steal right there. She's amped to play right now, taking over at that point guard spot.
Jaya Chalmers getting her first minutes of the game right now. A little bit more confident was Megan Lindsay there after hitting that 1-3. Tried to take another one. That one's no good as Germantown's running, trying to get over 20 points. Good layup, good Euro. That one finds the bottom of the net. Kira Lee.
Good move right there, and as I stated earlier, they're not letting off the gas, still playing Arlington as best as possible, trying to get some points on the board and make this loss that it's supposed to be a little bit respectable.
Looks like that tip pass hits off the Germantown Red Devils last. Arlington's ball side out of bounds. Looks like they're going to try to find Wilkins on the inbound, but she doesn't run with it, so it's going to be Miller taking it up.
Jaya Chalmers, the freshman, coming in and getting action right now. Arlington trying to get everybody involved in this big win.
Almost everybody has seen action here tonight for the Tigers, with the exception of a couple. Ball rustled around down there by Lindsay, but Miller has it up top, trying to find the right shot. Time is on their side right now. Good screen, finds Wilkins for 3. Bottom of the net, 1 for 8 for the night. Got that confidence back, 58-21, all Arlington.
We don't have to talk about the shot percentage right now because she did everything she needed to do on defense in that starting spot to bring this lead to what it is. Good shot there by Kenise, so she's got a little bit of momentum heading into the rest of this fourth quarter.
And good shooters are going to keep shooting, and it is a testament to Shields' faith in Wilkins that even though she started out rough, 0 for 7, she allowed her to still come out, shoot those shots because she knows that when she is hot, she is hot.
I mean,
you hits that 3.
You have little experience at the guard position, and that's exactly what they need to do. Get Kenise as much playing time as possible if she's going to be able to contribute as you get into those bigger games. We got Bartlett at the beginning of February. You're going to need her as much as possible.
If you were questioning what just happened there on that last play, I am too. Ball was tipped off Germantown's point guard and then lets the ball roll out of bounds with no attempt to go get it. They'll get it back here now. Maybe they knew it was coming up. They just wanted to rest a little bit.
It was either that or a backcourt violation Germantown electing to do it that way.
I don't know if it would have been, considering it hit off. Well, I guess yeah. I didn't know. Well, it hit off Arlington at some point, but Germantown must have grabbed it again.
It tipped her finger.
Nonetheless, score is still the same, 58-21. Arlington has ran away with it. If you're just joining us, they had a big run in the third quarter to get up to where they are. It was only a 14-point lead at halftime. It has been expanded since then to 37.
And I know that flip shot has worked for Thompson sometimes, but if you're a center trying to make it in this high school basketball realm, you're not going to have that little floater layup from the underhand position. You've got to put that up in the shot form that you shoot with if you want to have success.
It was a perfect pass to Wilkins there from the Germantown guard on that shot. Got it stolen there by Thompson. She's been doing a lot of work. Even for a center, she is very shifty in the lane, able to draw the foul there.
Again, if she doesn't elect to go with that scoop layup, she may have an opportunity for an and one here, but going up with the scoop got the easy foul. So if you want some foul shots, try to get this game back down to 30. That's the right way to do it.
Foul shots are always nice, but I'd always prefer the and one if I'm down by 30 plus.
Correct. We said the line would likely be 40 with these teams on paper. We'll see if Germantown can keep it under that. That might be the most exciting action we have for the final three.
Man, if they drilled it on 40, that'd be a great call there, Jake.
Appreciate it.
Always there to hype you up.
I've had the gift of prophecy for a couple times this season in football. We'll see if basketball that can resurrect.
Don't drop your crown, King.
Getting closer, 4 points away. Actually, two.
Actually, two now.
Sorry, my bad. Even closer.
Good math. Good block pass there.
Running clock is now in effect. I was in class today in second period, and AD Coach Manthe asked for a running clock from Kenise Wilkins. That three-pointer has helped with that, as now this clock will run all the way down, sending Germantown out with a near 40-point loss.
High school basketball does play by the no mercy rule, but at the same time, there's a little bit of mercy shown to the winning team when you're up 38. And another turnover, trying to get that line there for you, Jake.
Megan Lindsay.
Wide open pass taken out. Looking for the perfect shot. James might have it. It's no good. Good board there from the freshman, and she makes it 40. Big, strong board there for Jaya Chalmers.
Jaya Chalmers, the freshman, coming in and getting me that line at 40. What a layup.
We'll see if they can hold it.
Used her size, used her position making on that box out to get that layup in. What a shot there by Chalmers.
Thompson with the shifty move, but is blocked by the guard. Miller, ball's out on the floor. They've got it, 40-point game. Take the over, folks, it's 42.
Missed that travel there. I'm sorry to say that to you, April James, but you shuffled your feet at the end. Refs paid by game, not the hour. They're trying to get out of here as well.
Missed shot there. Story of the night for Germantown. Trying to find it. Jaya Chalmers again. She's blocked on that one. Fighting for the board. Keeps it in bounds. Over to Chalmers. Out to Miller for three. Dotted up. If there wasn't a dagger before that, call it the dagger now.
Taylor Miller, impressive night tonight. Not so much in the scoring column, but she's done everything else capable of getting this lead to where it is. Impressive outing for her. And I think that's important when you're young. You don't have to have this huge scoring total to make an impact. I think that's what she needs to rest on after tonight's game.
James in the open court. We'll see what she does with it. It's blocked. Out of bounds will favor Arlington. Running clock. We'll see if they take another shot or if they hold it out. I would maybe hold it, but, you know, in terms of going for the 70 piece, that would be a little motivation to take a jumper here too.
And I think if you're Germantown, I think the scoreboard does not reflect how intense you played. You played your hearts out right till the end, and I think that's respectable from anybody.
Jumper there from Megan Lindsay's no good, and that's going to wrap up the girls' game tonight. The score 67-22. Arlington on top of the Germantown Red Devils.
Let's hear it for your Lady Tigers.
It's okay.
on the win. First, I just want to ask, so how do you think the game went?
The game went great. We prepared for the game. We prepared for every game, but we prepared for the game yesterday, and we got prepared, and we had to bounce back coming off 2 losses over the weekend, so the game went well.
How do you think that they can keep this winning streak alive?
Just playing together, playing with heart, playing with toughness, playing together, and just playing as a team and just getting out there with that grit and grind and with that winner's mentality.
And who do you think the player of the game was and why?
The player of the game was everybody. Everybody is the player of the game. They came as a team. Like I said, it's always a team effort. So I would give it to all my girls. They get player of the game today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on that win.
We are in between games here. The girls has just wrapped up. The guys will be up next here on AHS Tiger Live.
Do you have a business or organization you want to promote? Advertise here. Reach thousands of potential customers throughout the year and show your community support for the Tigers. Every dollar you spend advertising will support academic and extracurricular programs across all schools in ACS. Contact Tyler Hill for more information. Do you have a business or organization you want to promote? Advertise here. Reach thousands of potential customers throughout the year and show your community support for the Tigers. Every dollar you spend advertising will support academic and extracurricular programs across all schools in ACS. Contact Tyler Hill for more information.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
Drake.
Well, we are live. Sorry, me and Jake. Shout out to Drake, I guess.
Yes, sir.
We don't really know
I don't
Drake,
support
but
Drake
we
or
don't
endorse
do that,
his music.
But we heard him come up, so we thought we'd say it. So I'm Brent Lyons. This is Jake Stube. We've already done one game here tonight. Caught us in the middle of our soapbox here.
Yes,
but Jake,
sir.
what are you looking forward here tonight? Germantown, Arlington.
The big story right now is Anthony Medlock. He was here freshman year and part of sophomore year before Coach Mo left to go somewhere. Who even knows where he went? He's been he kind of disappeared a little bit unless you follow him on Instagram. But Anthony Medlock went to play at Germantown. He was the highlight player last year that led them to that district championship as a junior. And this year, he's back. He's ready for action. Germantown tied with Bartlett right now in district record, which is insane to even talk about because Bartlett's top 25 nationally.
Yeah. Germantown comes in 13-4 overall, 3-0 in the district. So this would be a good win for them to get on the road. And it's always nice to beat your former school, no matter how good or poorly they may be playing so far in the season. 3-14 so far overall.
Well, last year they had arguably a better team, Arlington did, and they almost beat this Germantown team. They were up the entire game, and of course, who else? But Anthony Medlock came up clutch at the end of the game. They ended up winning that game by 6. And I think that's sort of a recurring theme that we see from Arlington a lot of the time, is they do well at the beginning of games. They have a great first half. But can Coach Blaine Brewer, Coach Marlon Sharp, can they lead this team to have a better second half than their first half? They got to keep that up that momentum if they want to stay in this.
Well, we'll see if they can lead the Arlington Tigers here to victory tonight against Germantown. But right now, we've got Nepo on the sideline giving us some action. What do you got, Nepo?
Come on. Come on. Arlington coming off a loss of Collierville last week. They lost by under 10 points, but they had main contributors such as Cruz and many other players such as Pi and VJ. Germantown, they're also coming off a win off of last week, and they're just to see who's going to win this game. Back to you.
Well, we are moments away from tip here, Germantown and Arlington. We're going to tip you off the break here. Don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to send you off real quick.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. I can't lie and say it was easy. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Wait, let me. Hold on.
How do you think yours was?
We are moments away from tip here, 4 moments away to be exact. We're going to send you over to a student-led hype video to get you hype for this next basketball game.
We want to remind you that all tonight's action is being broadcast live.
Like it's 07, I just hit a lick, gotta hit the next one. Last year, I know you learned your lesson. I could GPS you if you need addressing. Just saw about a bigger homie, but I'm 1 year older than my little homie. 09, they was bidding on me, but I'm young, money got it written on me.
Welcome back, Tiger fans, to the second half of our doubleheader here tonight on AHS Tiger Life. It is going to be the 3-14 Arlington Tigers taking on the former Tiger and his team, Anthony Medlock and the Germantown Red Devils. They sit at 14-3 and are trying to pick up a road win here tonight. All of this coverage is up next on AHS Tiger Life. Welcome back to some Tuesday night action here at the self-proclaimed Tiger Stadium. I'm alongside Jake Stoop. I'm Brent Lyons. Jake, you ready for the second half of this doubleheader?
I'm ready for this. This was one of the best matchups of the year last year. And again, as we talked about last game, 9 of the guys that were key contributors in minutes on this varsity team are now either transferred or they took a step away from basketball. We'll see how these new guys can do against Germantown, and maybe that's a good thing for the Tigers because a lot of these guys that Germantown saw last year are no longer on this team. They may not be as prepared as they were last year.
Yeah, and something to expect from Arlington is that they probably will be in this game in the first half. The real question is, can they hang around the second half? That was the issue for them last game against Collierville. We'll see if they can hold their own here at home against Germantown or if it will be short-lived.
They just don't have great size compared to this Red Devils team. That'll be a big advocate in this game as they were able to contend with Bartlett last year in that district championship in the paint, a team that has Matthew Stokes and Rashad Williams. Being able to contend with them was really impressive, but the one thing I'm looking for from this Arlington team is who is going to be your go-to scorer. Right now, the leading scorer on this roster is starting small forward Cruz Butler. VJ Simmons had that mark at 9, but he's dropped 1 point since last Thursday. We'll see who can step up and who needs to step up for the Tigers tonight.
Talking about size, just to give you a little bit of more depth to go with this, Germantown only has 3 guys that stand at less than 6 foot, compared to Arlington, who only has 3 guys that are over 6 foot. So in a 15-man roster, you're looking at a lot of size differential here.
Absolutely, but I would argue that Arlington has the better shooting and the better guard play. We'll see if they try to speed them up using the press, trying to force the turnovers, because I believe they can do that, at least in the first half. We might see a close game.
Performing the national anthem. We are about to get you to some basketball here. Anthony Medlock, the big storyline so far tonight. We're about to get you your starting lineups here.
Tonight for the Germantown Red Devils, first starter is going to be star guard Ja'Cory Dixon Jr., the 5'8" point guard. Second on the roster is going to be Caleb Jeffries, key contributor last year as a freshman, 6-foot point guard. Number 3, Hugh McFarland, also on that team that made it to the district championship last year. Number 5, Anthony Medlock, in his return to Tiger Stadium. Last to round it out at the forward spot, 6'5", Cameron Temple Sr.
And now Tigers for your
Time for the Tigers starting lineup.
Tiger.
Bring out their best, hopefully, tonight here against Germantown.
Junior guard number 0.
Kicking them off is going to be number 0, the junior VJ Simmons, standing at 5'10".
Junior guard number 11.
Off the JV squad, playing varsity minutes tonight, Anthony Hester, the junior, is going to be starting here tonight alongside VJ.
Junior guard number 14.
Adding to that, Cruz Butler, senior forward, standing at 6'3", will take the court.
Number 22.
Alongside Luke McBride, number 22, the junior, tallest man on the Arlington roster. And rounding it out, Alex Wiley.
Head coach of your Tigers, Blaine Brewer.
Head coach will be Blaine Brewer, as always. Tallest lineup Arlington has to offer here tonight out on the court. Starting a way taller lineup than they strutted out last time against Collierville. We'll see if they maybe have a game plan on how they want to attack this right off the tip.
And remember last week when they played against them, they took Luke McBride out, 4 minutes left in the first quarter, electing to go small. But now you start Ant Hester here, looking to speed up the tempo. He's absolute chaos, but somehow he tries to control it. Same thing John Morant does. We'll see if he can control that chaos and sort of offset Luke being in the game.
Well, Hester and Simmons worked very well together last game. Obviously, didn't pan out for them. Size was a big issue, as on paper it looks like it should be here tonight with the guard of Germantown standing at 6'5". So we'll see if they can handle it. Cruz Butler will be on Metlog, it looks, to start the game.
And McBride is the tallest player on the floor right now. We'll see if he can use that as an advantage.
Well, Germantown helps him out, but Arlington technically does win this tip. VJ Simmons is going to set it up. First moments of action here.
Germantown starting out in a half-court press man-to-man, trying to force Arlington to get inside the paint.
VJ for 3, off the backboard and good. Hyped Arlington squad, motivated here. First shot of the game. We've got you started here at Tiger Stadium.
Arlington coming out and incorporating that press, as we talked about, trying to speed up this Germantown team. And if they play anything like the girls, they're going to try to thrive in this half-court set.
McFarland was working with it, kicks it over to Jeffries. Jeffries over to Medlock for 3. Too easy, smooth, silky smooth shooter. Guard in his face, no problem, knocks it down to even the score up.
And it's a lot different when you're not playing the Bartlett Panthers, when they can match up with you sidewise. That shot hardly even contested because he's so much taller than the other guards for Arlington.
Butler trying to work it, turnover there, tried to get it to Simmons. Down the courts, Medlock tried to dunk it, couldn't get it. Closed the finish, tried to put him on the poster earlier in the first quarter.
That would have been a highlight play right there, but was unable to finish because he had to contort his body in the air. Good defense there by Arlington.
McBride tries to put the post move on, it's no good. And there is Medlock for the easy leg. Couldn't get it last time. He'll pick up the 2 points right there.
He's so tall and so poised when he gets inside of the lane on that fast break. It didn't really matter who did it. You're going to have to foul him a little bit harder than that if you want to do it, because that push right there didn't faze him whatsoever.
They're going to be very crisp with the ball if they want a chance to stay in it. It's going to be VJ lining it up for 3 again. That's no good. Couldn't get the bounce this time. Looks like it goes off Germantown. It does. Ball's going to stay Arlington side out.
And Arlington, other than those two turnovers, has had decent shot-taking ability right now. They just cannot allow the ball to be turned over if they want a shot. They're going to have to get a shot up every time if they want to beat this fast Germantown team.
Well, they give the ball to Germantown. Cross-court pass down to Jeffries. Medlock working with it over to McFarland.
Arlington playing a similar defense to that of Germantown, trying to speed them up with the really intense play on man-to-man.
Dixon kicks it over to Jeffries. Jeffries in the lane, good move. 7-3, Germantown's up early.
Able to split the defense easily there. Good timeout by Blaine Brewer, not allowing this lead to get out big if he can help it.
30 seconds.
The score is 7-3 early. Germantown is ahead.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acs.edu. k-12.org.
Score is 7-3. Germantown is up. Arlington with a 3 to their name so far. McBride squares up for a mid-range jumper. It's no good. Medlock working in the open court, gets it to Jeffries. Tries to draw a foul with a little bit of acting.
And that's a little bit of an issue if you have McBride, and he put up the shot and didn't even try to get back on defense where he's most needed. He stood there. A guard would not make that play. They get back. That's one reason I can understand why Blaine Brewer elected to keep him out of the game at the end of that first quarter last game.
Well, something else that McBride could have done is try to crash for the board after the mid-range shot. Kind of just stood there. That defense is going to need to be improved if they want to stay in this game. As Medlock has the ball at the top of the key, a good kick out to Dixon. Little mid-range jumper, that's good.
The little short king, Ja'Cory Dixon, got up on that jump shot, warning that from being blocked when he had a defender in his face. Good heads-up play there.
Hester leaves VJ in the backcourt with McFarland. He clears half court, trying to set something up to get the Tigers some more points. He has their only 3 so far. Quick mid-range jumper for VJ, that's no good off front iron. Good shots, just not falling right now as Dixon leads the charge. Foul is called on what appeared to be all ball by Hester.
Good defense right there by Germantown on these couple possessions for Arlington. They're playing so tight on the wings that they can't even get anything involved unless they were to have some screen and cut action. They are going to force Arlington to move the ball in order if they want to have some ball reversals tonight. But so far that's succeeding and Arlington losing for it.
Dixon makes his first at the line. Star guard here, one of them for Germantown. They have a lot of designated guards, even though some size-wise wouldn't maybe match up, one being Anthony Medlock. But we'll give it to him anyway. Dixon with the first and the second. 11-3, 8-point game. Arlington needs to score quick because it can get out of hand real fast.
Again, look how tight they're playing on the wings. The guard has almost no options unless they get involved in the screen action.
Wiley, good pass to Butler inside, takes it all the way. Strong move by Butler there. First points of the night.
And when he gets ahead of seam, he can get up into your body. That's what you do against a bigger defender. Try to get up and physical.
Dixon's pass was cut off for Jeffries. McBride had a chance to get it, couldn't get it, but he crashes for the board there now. It's going to be VJ Simmons working the ball up, trying to cut this lead down. Screen from McBride. A little bit of acting again there from Jeffries as the shot falls for VJ. He's taken really good shots here tonight, 2 for 4.
Germantown has a solid fine arts program, and it looks like he's a part of it, trying to flop his way into that foul, but refs did not fall for it.
It's going to be Jeffries for 3. That's off the mark. Medlock going for the board, but Wiley's going to secure it. They're going to call a foul on Medlock. Good call there. Picks up his first.
Frustration there on the end of Anthony Medlock. He wants to get involved in the scoring column this game as much as possible. Currently, he's got 5 points, but when you have frustration fouls like that, that can take you out of it.
We'll see if Arlington can keep this little run they have going. Trying to limit turnovers and get points on the board as quick as possible to stay in this game. VJ's working with it, finds the lane, takes the contorted shot, no good. Good board by McBride, puts it up, it's a 2-point game.
Using that height to get position on that ball. He didn't have to box out. The roll there by VJ Simmons' missed shot allowed it to bounce right to McBride. Good heads-up play there to stay in the paint and try to get involved in the rebounds.
And there aren't a lot of height advantages here in this game for the Tigers, but when McFarland's on McBride in the paint, he has a good chance of getting it. Up and under layup there, no good for Temple, but he's going to go to the line.
And McBride got fortunate last time when the ball fell right to him, but there he does not box out, and that allows the big man for Germantown to get that rebound. He has to box out as much as possible if he wants to control this board game. And as you said, Brent, the height category really favors Germantown. He's going to have to be really active in the paint.
Luke stands on paper taller than anyone on the court here tonight. The thing is depth at height, which is something that is becoming sort of a theme here in our first couple live streams, is the fact that Arlington is severely outmatched when it comes to size. Scores 13-9. Arlington keeping it friendly right now, trying to see how close they can keep it.
And losing Mo Nasser is a big part of that. They honestly talked about in the offseason starting both of them. Now you have to take a frustration timeout because VJ Simmons can't do it all himself.
McFarland with great half-court defense there, forcing Blaine Brewer to take a timeout. We are going to send you to a player spotlight here on one of our high school athletes here for the boys basketball team.
My name is Alex Wiley. I'm a 12th grade basketball player here at Arlington High School. On the basketball team, I'm a mixture of a small forward and a power forward. My coaches help me on the court, my mentality. Coach Brewer, he's more of a chill coach. You know, he tries to push you in certain ways. But Coach Sharp, he tries to be more aggressive, and he like yells at you, things like that, to push you right on the court. My teammates help me on the court because they help us we have this bond, so we can help each other out in ways that our coaches can't reach us. Like we can say things that our coaches wouldn't say to each other and try to critique each other on things that wouldn't be critiqued on, so that's what we do. We're brothers. My favorite thing about being on the basketball team is the brotherhood that we have and how every one of us is going to play hard for each other no matter what, no matter if it's a win or a loss. So far, the season isn't going as planned, but I think we can turn it around. We're getting better every game, that's what I will say. I think we should surprise some people. I think we're going to win that game, and it'll be a strong game for us. Go Tigers.
Well, a couple turnovers, both by Germantown and Arlington while we were away. Nothing seems to be working for VJ when it comes to getting the ball away from the defense. He's doing all he can, but this Germantown defense is just incredible.
That's a travel right there. Good
Dixon.
call there. He tried to drive into the paint and instead got on his back and sort of lost his footing. Good defense there, and that's something you want to do as a guard. If a guard drives the paint, they're going to try to back you down. Let them do that. They will fall backwards with the travel every time.
Hester held his ground there, kind of caught Dixon off guard and forced the travel. And VJ's dribbling has been much improved since last season as he knocks down a deep three to keep it within 1 point. We talked about how important he would be tonight. He has done all he has needed to do so far.
And again, a reason they're still in this game is they're able to continue to score the ball. Last game against Carterville, they only scored 5 points in the second half. They have to continue to keep their foot on the gas if they want to stop this team.
Dixon has the ball. Tough defense by Hester, not letting him go anywhere. VJ comes for him. They're going to call a foul. Lucky
and
two.
even though that's a foul, I love the intensity here. They know that they cannot get anything easy against this fast defensive team of Arlington. I love the intensity here on the defensive side because it's allowing them to get a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Medlock knocked that three down, so probably a good foul there from the Tigers.
You cannot let Medlock get hot either in this game. I'll take that foul all day, like you said, Brent.
Dixon and Hester give a high five to each other. Recognized game there. Good defense by Hester. Ball is out to McFarland trying to get it going.
And bringing in Hester to the starting lineup benefits, and there's a downside as well because he's so chaotic, but he can get to the paint easy.
No and one there as McFarland tried to take it all the way. Sub into the game is going to be Joshua Davis, senior guard. Germantown is going to call a timeout, however, before we attempt these two free throws.
Yeah, and they also bring in Lucas Huffstetler, which if you remember last game and you watched last game, had two big threes to start out the game. He's really the only reason they stayed ahead in that first half and were able to keep it so close by the end of the half. He was able to hit those threes. Bringing him in, he looks a little bit down right now as he was removed from the starting lineup, but if he could get hot, that just brings more scoring and more intensity to this Arlington team.
Yeah, he started out 3 for 3 from three. A lot of threes there in the first half.
Yes, sir. And he's number 3.
He is number 3. Was not the same story in the second half. Hopefully they can get him going quick and keep him going because he's going to be an important part with his shooting if they want to win this game.
And that's the exact same thing that happened with DeMar Hamlin. Hamlin vibes happening all around the country. Only been over a week since his accident. Good to see him doing well.
It's going to be McFarland at the line. First free throw is good. A.J. Thomas and Joshua Davis, 2 sub-ins for this Germantown squad to join Medlock, McFarland, and Dixon.
Again, Germantown instituting this press. They did not start the game this way, but they're trying to rattle Arlington the exact same way that Arlington was to them.
Cruz Butler from 3. That's no good. Rebound bounced around a little bit. It's going to be cleared by Davis. Crashing is Dixon. Ball is loose, out on the ground. McBride trying to get it. Great effort there from the Tigers, but it's going to be out of bounds. Going to the Tigers, a little bit questionable of a call there.
Looks like Huffstetler knew it was out on him, but the ref still gave it to him and pointed to him. Didn't really understand that call, but either way, Arlington gets a break.
VJ Simmons done an incredible job of taking the ball up here from the Tigers. His handles have been much improved from last season and even last game, it feels like. He's done so well under pressure leading the squad.
Tyler McNeil, a recent sub in, he's going to give you so many points from the offensive end if you allow him to go to work. See if he can put up good shots, good, well-advised shots.
They call the foul on the ground here, but while we have a moment, our coverage of Arlington High School basketball is brought to you in part by AHS Tiger Life, the student-produced media program at Arlington High School, which is what you are currently watching right now. Student-produced, student-led media program here. We are grateful for the opportunity to be with you here tonight.
And if you only come here for the live streams, you are doing something majorly wrong. We've got so many other things that are going on always at Tiger Life. Keep tuning in.
Deep pass there on the inbound. Huffstetler tracks it down. Have it set up. McNeil trying to get going. Working into the paint. Kicks it out to Huffstetler. Thought he wanted to shoot. Did a little weird.
Looks like a pass to himself or something like that.
But it ends up in Butler's hands trying to drive. He's been good. They're going to call a...
Looked like he was leaning a little bit on that defensive play, but they called it a block or a charge.
They called the charge on Butler. Good drive to the basket.
Checking in for the Red Devils, 24, Terry.
Germantown side out, taking the ball up. It is Joshua Davis who kicks it over to McFarland.
Jalen Batts, a recent sub into this game. We'll see if he can make an impact in the latter end of this quarter.
He is one of the better mid-range shooters I've ever seen, so we'll see if he can get it going there. A little bit of defense to help them not take the ball in there. VJ Simmons looks like he's going to get the last shot. Pulls up from half court, right off the rim. Really good attempt there for not being able to see it all. But the score is 17-12. Germantown is up, and right now we have Nepo on the sidelines. Nepo, what do you got?
Thank you, Brent. Tigers and Germantown, they're going at it back and forth. In the beginning of the game, around the first couple seconds, Arlington wasn't really sure about what was going on until Coach Brewer, he called a 30-second timeout. Tigers, they got back together. They figured out what they needed to do, and they're fighting in this game to keep alive. Germantown, on the other hand, they're pressuring the ball. They're forcing Anthony Hester to run all over the court. They're making sure they have a steady, safe game, making sure they don't have a huge turnout of Arlington coming back. But the Tigers are fighting, and they're coming back. Your final score of the quarter, 12-17. Back to Des. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you so much, Nepo. Thank you so much, Nepo. The score is 17-12. Germantown on top of the Tigers. Not very one-sided as Arlington has found a way to keep themselves in it. It's going to stay with Germantown. I feel like that's a fair call considering what happened last time, even though
absolutely.
It was the wrong call.
That's a makeup call a little bit, but you'd have to have that instant replay out in order to get that one right. Looked like it slipped off of Madlock's fingertips, but definitely Arlington's fault that it went out.
Deep pass there from Thomas outside to McFarland. McFarland's been running the offense over Dixon for the last couple minutes, even though Dixon's been out. They call the foul. Looks like it was clean ball, but they call it on VJ Simmons. Simmons questioning it a bit.
And I respect VJ Simmons' conditioning. Playing over the offseason, running over the offseason is a huge aspect to why he continues to be this good. I mean, he's been dribbling all over the floor, trying to avoid this deep press by Germantown, but at the same time, he's having the exact same effect on the other end. Well done by VJ.
First free throw is good from McFarland. He's 3 for 3
Checking
so
in for
far.
the Tigers, number 11, Anthony Hester.
Hester's going to sub back into the game. Simmons is going to take a seat. A good first 8:20 of action for him. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him tonight. No good on the second free throw. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Germantown. It's going to be Joshua Davis inside. Number 24, Chance Terry, the sophomore, gets some action here, making it an 8-point game, the biggest of the night.
Again, this Arlington team can stay in it, but they got to continue to score points.
Jalen Bass from 3. It's no good off the money. Out in transition now is McFarland doing some spin moves to get to the basket. Takes it up. Jelly, no good. Wiley's going to get it, clear it out. McNeil's going to run the ball up.
One guy that's been quiet for the Red Devils has been Anthony Madlock. They have not given him the ball in the offensive end very much recently, but they're still out to an 8-point lead.
Wiley working with the ball outside, trying to find an open shooter. Bats has it now. Over to McNeil, trying to set it up.
Looks like he called for a screen, but no one there to try to initiate the offense.
Huffstetter looked like he had some room, but didn't take it. Wiley, good take, looked like he had the shot. They're gonna call an over the back on Wiley.
That's an interesting call. It looked like he went straight up, trying to tip it behind the shorter defender. And I hate that for taller guys that are trying to box out and rebound. Sometimes when you try to get that ball and use your height advantage, they just call it on you. And it's so hard for the defense or the taller guy not to do that. It really favors the shorter player.
At the end of the game against Collierville, the Turner brothers had an incredible game, finishing out with a respectable couple three-pointers. We'll see if Grady Turner, who has recently subbed in, can continue what he did the other night. It is going to be Dixon subbed back into the game. Him and A.J. Thomas are running the point. Good ball movement here. They call something, not sure yet. He's not telling anybody.
I think they called that on Grady Turner on the block, but it looked like if you're Grady Turner, I know you're not as experienced. You have not really played competitive basketball much, but in that position, Medlock is driving almost full speed at you. You've got to get your body on the line and take that charge, because I think if that happened, they would have had a charge on Medlock. That would have been his second foul.
Nothing has been said yet. No foul has been called.
Germantown is in the bonus. Last foul.
A foul was called.
Looked like it was on Grady.
They call it on number 11. There is no 11 on the, Anthony Hester. They call the foul on Anthony Hester. Not sure what for there.
It looked like Turner was the one that was in the action, but
they called it before it.
Yeah, they did. They did it even before the shot happened. I'm so confused.
They blew the foul dead, the play dead, before he went up in the air. After he went up in the air, he pulled himself back, didn't hit him, but the foul goes against Hester. It's his first, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a little weird. But nonetheless, first 10-point game here for Germantown. We'll see if Arlington can close it back. Little full court press here for Germantown. Butler and McNeil trying to work it.
Arlington has not scored in a minute. They need a big bucket in a big way.
Butler can give you that bucket. We'll see if he can find his way to the paint for another strong take. Wanted to pull up. They call it travel. Thought he held his pivot.
That's an issue that is, when you watch the NBA, you can get away with, but in high school basketball, these refs ain't playing around. You cannot take 2 steps in the backcourt and not do anything with the ball. You've either got to pass or shoot a layup or shoot the ball in general. Cruz Butler taking 2 steps there, maybe watched a little too much of John Morant.
It's never a bad idea to watch John Morant, but in that case, I guess it came back to bite him.
Yeah, don't watch the NBA for rules.
Huffstetler clears the board over the bigger defenders here. It's going to be McNeil with the ball, trying to work it. Arlington needs a bucket here, haven't scored a minute. Instead, they'll turn it over.
And McNeil's play style right there really prohibited him from getting that bucket. Looked like if he would have made a little bit of a shift in his handles and then gone right to the paint, he would have had a chance at an and one opportunity, but instead he pulls back, he tries to take the shot, and instead leads to a frustration foul for McNeil.
So Simmons and McBride are going to come back into the game, bringing that size back. McBride has had a pretty decent game so far tonight. We'll see if the size he adds can maybe bring some momentum back for the Tigers. No good free throw there. Arlington clears the board, looking for a bucket. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes.
That looked like a travel as well. Missed call there by the ref's part. That one was a little bit more severe than the Butler play as well. Surprised he got away with that one.
McBride is being guarded by Medlock. VJ Simmons looking for a shot here. Almost a turnover, but they hold it.
I like Arlington's pace right now. They're continuing to move the ball and not alluding to the pressure of this Germantown team, taking their time, trying to get a high-quality shot off.
Hester all the way at the back of Arlington's side of the court. VJ's doubled, trying to find something. Huffstetler gets it. You think that they might become impatient here soon.
That's good coaching right here, not alluding to the pressure and taking a decent shot. I don't mind that shot if I'm Simmons.
Simmons got a good shot. Butler with the rebound. Huffstetler for three, well off the money. Still a good shot for him.
He wanted that one too badly. He pulled it up when he was contested, and that's his first shot of the day. He's been on the bench for more than 20 minutes. Not surprised that one went a little bit deep, but now he's got a shot out of his way. Arlington still has the ball. See if he can get up a couple more because they need his shooting ability right now.
Hester's trying to find the inbound, finds McBride driving into the paint. He's got Medlock on him. I guess you could call Medlock too small for McBride in this situation. Backs him down, waits for him to jump, and then gets the easy lay.
Former teammate of McBride, but last time Medlock played with Luke, he was a little bit smaller than that. Luke using that recent size that he's added to his height to use that against Medlock.
We love adding height to size, don't we?
Yes, sir. He's got both of them.
Turnover there potentially for Germantown. They're going to side it still with the Red Devils.
See, McBride kind of like a pineapple. You've got the normal size of a pineapple, but then you've got that stem that adds the extra height.
Wow.
That stem is what he's added since Medlock left Arlington.
What an analogy.
Hey,
Needs to run it quick.
You got to say yes to bets, man.
We're bringing that back, huh?
Yes, sir.
Arlington trying to work it. Down 8. Butler with the ball. Butler inside, can't take it. Foul is called. Send him to the line.
Love the physicality and intense play there by Butler. He's ticked off. He does not want to be in this game right now, especially if they go down. He's trying to get involved in any way he can to try to limit this team, limit this lead to going back to double digits.
2 points on the board so far tonight for Cruz. Butler trying to get some more right here. That free throw's off the money.
And that's a free throw you absolutely need. If he would have hit both of these, the lead could have been cut to 6. And remember, this Germantown team is better than the Collierville team they played last week. Arlington was down 5 at the half. We'll see if they can get back to that point.
Big minutes here for the Tigers right now. Medlock is on the bench, and I know he hasn't been that active in the scoring column so far, but he is a size presence, and with the Red Devils running a little bit of a smaller operation now, maybe the Tigers can get some looks inside.
Well, Germantown matching Arlington right now and playing the exact same game as they are. Let's see if their talent can prevail in this situation.
McFarland gets Simmons off of him. A little reverse there by Allen is no good. Could have taken it straight up, got it.
Good physicality there by McBride to rip away that rebound. We've seen that a lot lately, really impressive.
VJ had him on the first move, but couldn't get by 2 and 3 defenders there on the second.
Good use of the body there by Caleb Jeffries, only a sophomore. Using that body got Luke McBride off of him, so he couldn't even come for that chase down block. Good, really well fundamentally played there by Jeffries. And again, another frustration offensive foul there from Huffstetler. We don't have to mention what happened prior to this game to make him frustrated, but right now that frustration is going to take him out of this contest, as when he is really in his head like this, there's no way he's going to be where you want him offensively.
The good thing about who they're bringing in is another pretty good shooter, only a sophomore. The brother of Grady Turner is going to come in, Will Turner. We'll see if he can get some good shots up. Playing on Dixon is no small task, however, so they don't give it to him yet. They give him McFarland. VJ is going to be on Dixon. Good defense here.
Just want to comment how loud it is in here. You can see why both of these teams are playing fast, but you've got to give them credit. Playing this slow and this poised, even with this crowd going crazy, is a little wild.
Dixon with an incredible Euro there, bringing the lead to the highest of the night at 11. We got Simmons taking the ball up. Pressure, as always, from the Red Devils. Kicks it over to Hester. Hester's trying to get something going. Still's got a goose egg for tonight.
And look how fast he is. He just plays with chaos, and sometimes it hurts, sometimes it helps. Right there, it hurts. Caleb Jeffries, again, only a sophomore. We keep mentioning it every time, but he's got that sort of veteran leadership only as a sophomore. Good take there right there. That was definitely a hard play to take.
Well, they had an opportunity to score with Medlock out of the game. They've brought him back in. That moment is over. We'll see if they can find a way to get some points on the board with arguably the best player in the game here tonight back on the floor.
And my bad, that was not Jeffries, that was Haven Terry. He has not been as active in the scoring column, but he's made his impact for sure.
Medlock dives on the ground for that rebound. McBride being very, very physical there. That could cost him if he's not careful. Throwing some shoulders there at Medlock.
You gotta love it though, asserting his will on the defensive end, crashing the boards.
VJ for three, that's off. He's got the hot hand tonight, so you can't blame him for taking it. McFarland has it with Butler on him, driving to the paint. Luke McBride with a good block. He clears the board too.
Man, throwing those elbows every time, and I like that they're letting him play. The physicality of this game is well represented by the box outs.
Oh no. Almost a lob for a dunk there. Would have been the highlight of the game.
Looked like that was what was gonna happen, but a little bit of a miscommunication there. Either way, easy layup, and this lead is back to 13.
A little bit of mercy shown. Another bad pass by the Tigers. They clear it, trying not to travel, tripping all over themselves. Finds Butler open. Butler's going to drive. He's got a head of steam, no good. McBride's going for the board.
And again, what a take there by Butler, able to get to the paint with relative ease.
It is going to stay with Arlington, but while we have a second coverage of Arlington High School's basketball game, is brought to you in part by Sunrise Builder Supply. When you're a home builder, contractor, or DIY homeowner, they have the quality supplies that you need.
And Arlington building a curriculum to try to break this press for Germantown that has gotten them so uncomfortable. They've got to get on the board if they want to have some momentum going into halftime.
I wonder if Sunrise Builder Supply could build a defensive plan that can help them stop this Germantown red-hot offense. Butler finds McBride for a mid-range jumper, well off.
Get back, Luke.
He does, don't worry. Woo! Up to Chase. It's gonna fall. Number 10, McIntyre, is gonna get points on the board at the end of the half to cut it back under 10.
And I know that play is a little bit disrespected, as you would call that cherry picking, but at the same time, puts points on the board, and that's what Arlington needs. Don't mind the play from the Tigers.
Germantown looks to hold it for a minute. Dixon has the ball, drives to the paint. Good pass there off the thigh. McFarland has it, fakes McIntyre with the pass. They're gonna set it back up. This might be the last shot.
Trying to set up for the last shot, as you said. This is something that the girls team did not do last game, and it cost them. Let's see if Germantown get it on the board.
Dixon having his way with Turner here. Drives into the paint. It's blocked. Out of bounds. They're going to keep it with Germantown, even though
I believe it was off of the Tigers, off of the Luke block. We'll see what they can draw up here. I would watch for Madlock. Good foul there by Butler.
Good foul. Shot's no good. It's going to send number 15, DJ Allen, the junior, to the line. 6'4", power forward.
And DJ Allen, I know the height does not represent the size he has if we're going to differentiate that here. He was, again, a super big contributor last year when they played Bartlett in that district championship. Has not been as active in the scoring column, but again, as we talked about for a lot of these Germantown Red Devils, they're doing everything else necessary to where you can have the exact same impact, but even though it's not in the scoring column, they still had a very, very big impact on this game.
And he looks like he could be a football player out there.
He definitely is, no doubt.
Second free throw good.
See if VJ can put up another one, except he's not in the game, so that can't happen.
They call a foul there. Arlington not in the bonus.
Foul charged to the Red Devils.
Yeah, great foul there to warrant a crazy shot from going up at the end of the buzzer, but we'll see if they can get one off.
I have a feeling that it is impossible. Luke's going to shoot it anyway. It was a little close.
Good shot there by McBride. It was really close.
Keeping it within 15 and a half, I would say, isn't a bad showing so far, considering this Germantown team is incredibly talented, Jake.
Yeah, for sure. I like that from Arlington. The halftime score last time was 31-26, but again, Arlington only scored 6 to 7 points in that second half. We'll see what they can do here to try to get it back to a close game.
And with recent legislation passing, Germantown schools are being forced to make many difficult decisions. Here's Tiger Life reporter Noah Sershin with some more news.
Jake and Brent, new numbers that I found show that over 3,000 students attend these 3G schools, 2,000 on the high school level. And when students first heard about this bill, you can imagine they were pretty upset.
the bill.
Students frustrated with the bill that went through Tennessee legislature early last year. The bill proposed by Republican State Representative Mark White and Senator Brian Kelsey would prevent a school district from operating within the jurisdiction of another school district without an agreement in place. The bill potentially leaving the students that attend Germantown Elementary, Middle, and High School separated. Some students don't understand why this would happen.
Why break a community? Why break down a community that didn't need to be broke down?
There were also talks of tearing down Germantown High School. This high school that sits on Poplar Pike has been serving students for over 100 years. One student thinks that tearing down Germantown High is doing a disservice to the whole community.
Why? You take education away from children to build a high school or build a mall or whatever was meant to be built on this land. Why?
Calvin Nicholson is a part of the Save the G campaign. It is comprised of a group of students and alumni that want to keep the Germantown schools together. When Memphis-Shelby County Schools and Germantown Municipal School District began negotiations for the future of these 3G schools, they pushed to have student input in these talks. In the agreement that MSCS and GMSD settled on, Germantown would acquire control of Germantown Elementary and Middle. MSCS would still keep Germantown High. A new high school for MSCS would be built in Cordova. There will also be a 9-year transition period. Students concerned about the whole ordeal were eventually heard, leaving them settled with the agreement that MSCS and GMSD came to terms with. These students even got help from the woman leading the largest school district in Tennessee. Interim Superintendent Tony Williams has always been in support of these students. In a press conference she attended with the Save the G campaign, she said that hearing the waves that this student-led group has made pushed her into joining the bandwagon.
I think for the most part, Kevin, it's been loud and clear that you guys have expressed passion. I've received emails. I received letters. Your parents are very vocal as well. So I took the helm of this role at the beginning of September, and so I heard it the first day on the job.
In the agreement, there is a clause that states that Germantown schools will eventually be dissolved each year, forcing a high school that holds a rich history to close its doors. Now, even though the future of the building that holds Germantown High School is still in question, Calvin tells me that no matter where the replacement high school is built, that it is essential to keep the Germantown High School spirit alive.
In every family, they have something that identifies them some way, somehow. Our culture is the Red Devil Nation. We can't have Germantown High School. I pleaded with them and said, give us Red Devil Nation.
Jake and Brent, Calvin also tells me that the student-led campaign that he helps create, he wants to let students know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Now, there was also another deal between Millington Municipal Schools and MSCS. In this deal, the Millington Schools will buy Lucy Elementary for $3.3 million. MSCS says it will make enhancements to the school until its transfer in 2027. We're going to have more coverage of this game coming up right now. The current score, 17-29, coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Do you have a business or organization you want to promote? Advertise here. Reach thousands of potential customers throughout the year and show your community support for the Tigers. Every dollar you spend advertising will support academic and extracurricular programs across all schools in ACS. Contact Tyler Hill for more information.
Welcome back. It is currently halftime here of the Arlington-Germantown basketball game. We are going to let you enjoy this Arlington dance performed by your Arlington dance team.
Tiger fans, make some noise for your 222-23 Arlington Dance and the Arlington Hip Hop Dance Team.
Thank you, Tiger Dance Team, for a great halftime performance there with all of the smaller dance children there. But Jake, back to basketball, which is what we know a little better.
I mean, it's hard to get back to
dance.
basketball after those performances. Those were absolutely insane. Good to see the younger generation and the older generation combined. That was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any analysis on that one for you, but it is really cool to see them get to do that.
I thought the moves were hit perfectly. The technique was awesome. I think that's the only thing we can analyze with that one.
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's go back to basketball. I'm sorry, that was just awesome. All right, let's go.
All right, Jake, what do you think that Arlington needs to do to get back in this game in the second half? It's still pretty respectable now, but it could get away from them fast.
I mean, it sounds so simple. But you have to score. Arlington in the second half, it seems like every time they play at home on one of these live streams, they play well in the first half. They're able to keep it close, but they cannot find the go-to score in the second half. They need somebody to step up in a big way, or they need everybody just to hit their shots. VJ's been that guy. Cruz has been that guy. You can honestly start to do a mix of driving to the paint and kicking out because it seems like it's either one or the other.
Yeah, and I think hitting shots is probably a key goal here from the Tigers. They've had a little bit of trouble getting the ball up the court. I think something else that they need to do is make sure that they have somebody back to help the ball and stay cleared, because there are times when they get stuck in the backcourt and then they just throw up a dumb pass or they throw it out of bounds and keep it away from Germantown for a second, but then they get in and they're off to the races.
Yeah, they just need to take care of the basketball and not have those turnovers. You just have to limit all mistakes and take good shots. Coach Brewer's going to take a shot every single time. Just don't give it up before you can take one.
And right now we are going to send it over to one of our special senior cheerleaders here at Arlington High School.
My name is Omaya Marshall. I've been doing basketball cheer since I was in elementary school. My favorite thing about basketball cheer is being there supporting my team and being there cheering along with my cheer sisters. And I really enjoy just yelling and dressing up for cheer. And I just feel like it was something for me when I first started. What influenced me to do basketball cheer was that when I was younger, I always wanted to participate in small activities. And once I seen a small clip of anybody just cheering, I thought it'll be something for me that I just like yelling, showing spirit, and I'm a very happy person. So basketball cheer, that's something for me. My least favorite part about basketball cheer is that some cheer teams can come with a lot of drama. And one thing that you can expect being a cheerleader is that going in and thinking that you can always get what you want and you don't.
Thank you, Amaya, for that special report on highlighting one of our cheerleaders here at Arlington High School. We are moments away from the second half of action here, and we know what Arlington talked about at halftime. Jake, what do we think Germantown talked about at halftime trying to keep this lead in their favor?
I think that, yes, it's important to press. It's important to put pressure in the backcourt, but they need to force Arlington to make shots when they get them. If they allow them to get onto transition and make some buckets because of that press, that could be the only way Arlington scores consistently.
Yeah, and we have Nepo on the sideline, so we're going to give you over to him. Nepo, what do you got?
Germantown, they're up 29-17 right now. Tigers, they're having some problems on the court, especially when it comes to players figuring out what to do and what the coach is trying to say. Germantown, on the other hand, on their side, everything's just going smooth for them. They're trying to give Anthony Medlock a break going into the third, as what they're talking about. And overall, they're trying to keep their players in rotation. Arlington is trying to put some younger players in, such as Chase Haskins and other players. And overall, it's just going pretty good. That's what I have. Scored 29-17. Germantown up. Thank you.
Thank you, Nepo. They may have talked about keeping Medlock in, Medlock out, but decide to go with him in, with Cruz Butler going to be the victim of his defense here to start the second half.
And keep in mind, you're going to get a more intense Anthony Medlock than normal. I mean, you saw the sign he was making during the national anthem. He loves to be here. He loves to be in front of the former home crowd trying to put on a show.
VJ Simmons, the primary ball handler here for Arlington, done some great work tonight. He'll kick it over to Butler, who's going to try and set it up.
Germantown electing to tighten up this half-court defense, which proves to be so difficult for Arlington to break, exactly what we talked about at the halftime report.
Somehow McBride ended up at the top of the half court, not where he wants to be as the tallest guy on the floor. VJ Simmons puts up a circus shot of sorts, no good. Germantown clears it off to the races of McFarland.
Putting Simmons on skates there. Good dribble moves there by the offense.
Jeffries is called for the travel. It'll be side out of bounds for the Tigers.
And Germantown electing to press, but I don't think they're going to do it that intensely, and yes, they aren't. They're trying to make it slower for Arlington to get down to the court, but not slow enough to where they could beat them on the break.
McFarland's done a good job on Simmons tonight. Way to avoid the charge there. Wiley's going to pull up from three. It's no good. Deep out to McBride, who laces one up. No good.
Man, that would have been fun to see McBride make one of those, but looked like they got away with a travel before that. Wiley shuffling his feet on the three-point line, but ball don't lie.
Luke was working for that one too, had the tongue out, kind of like Chris Bosh-esque, ready for that three-pointer. Good block there by the Tigers as Butler's off, trying to get in, strip, they call the foul.
It looked like all ball there by Jeffries. Good play, but Butler was moving so fast the ref couldn't keep up. Good play there by Cruz.
Cruz will take the two shots at the line for sure, trying to keep the Tigers in it. This would cut the lead to 10 if he could get both of them to go.
At the line for your Tigers, number 14.
And Cruz is a guy that his speed and his size, it really, it's marvelous because you see on his legs, he's got both tendonitis bands and he's got KT tape on his ankle. He's a guy that has been injured in the past, but plays through it and plays aggressive. It doesn't make sense for his past injuries.
I wonder if sometimes you wear KT tape and things like that just for show, you know, because it adds to the arsenal of different.
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no, for sure. You know, but sometimes you like to have the full arsenal out there.
Absolutely. Hey, he looks good, whatever it is. So, I like it.
Look good, play good. That's what they say. Luke McBride tries to size up Temple. The big man doesn't work. It's going to be 31-19. Arlington still squeaking around, trying to make a run here. Hester with it up top, kicks it off to Simmons.
And this is when Arlington tends to break. See if they can get on the board.
Simmons, another three. That'll help.
That's a big one that they needed right there to get some momentum back in their favor. And right out of that, they incorporate that press that makes it tough for Germantown. And once you can get into those sets, you're going to get so much momentum. And obviously the Germantown coach is heated right now.
And big issue over here. Hester looks frazzled a little bit. He is on Medlock, and he does not like it. Trying to get some help over there. But it's going to be McFarland driving to the paint. It's no good. Ball is loose. Butler's going to get a big momentum shift here available for the Tigers. Luke drives, foul called, good call.
That's going to be the second on Madlock, maybe even the third foul.
Red Devils, number 5, Medlock.
His second foul, so not his third, but he's got to play a little bit more conservative. Again, we talk about Cruz Butler, so physical and so poised when he gets down into the lane, able to take it up without it being blocked. The contortion of his body helps so well.
Chance to cut it to 7 points here. Arlington hanging around, making a push at the time they need. The question is, will Germantown respond, or is Arlington going to be able to get themselves back in?
The more they can keep Medlock out of the picture, the better. That's exactly what they've been doing, and it's working. That's going to be McBride's second.
They call McBride for the push, trying to get the board. 8-point game. It's a take foul. First of the half. You can live with that. Just no more ill-advised fouls here.
They've got this four-man press up here. They decide to make it a little bit more lax, but I think you've got to be careful for Arlington. You cannot allow them to get a quick bucket.
Over to Dixon, trying to make a move. Kicks it out to Medlock. He's open. You know he's cash from there. Continues it.
Called it before it happened. Ant Hester left him before the shot went up. You cannot afford to leave him open, and as we just said, you cannot let him get hot if you want to get back into this game. It was at 8 or 7 points. Now it's back to double digits.
He's taken 4 threes tonight. Only 2 of them have counted. Both of the other ones called dead ball before the shot went up. But he is 2 for 2 for the ones that have counted, 4 for 4 for if you count the others. Arlington has the ball in transition, and that was too easy to predict.
VJ Simmons tried to slow down the layup in order to make him jump at the wrong time, but he did not fall for it there. Even the left hand wasn't enough to warrant that block.
It will still be Arlington's ball. Butler laces up a 3, no good. McBride tries to get in for the offensive rebound, and now it's off. McFarland has it, uses his body inside, and is back to 13. Good lay by McFarland. Butler trying to do the same, a little behind the back, no foul called.
Yeah,
Probably
he
a
went
good
absolutely
call.
straight up.
Ooh.
He is heated right now. They're saying he got all ball, but he got all body there. He may have hit the ball, but
Medlock wanted to dunk that thing, had it in the palm of his hand. He looked like he was going to get the cock back, so maybe a good foul to avoid the poster.
lead is back to 14, and Anthony Medlock has been the reason for 4 of those recent points. Cruz Butler been the guy to go to. Let's see if he can get some more shots up and try to bring this lead back down.
Just like that, largest lead of the night after cutting it to 7. Simmons has to be on point here. He's not right there. Passes it into the Germantown defense, up for the layup, and just like that, it's a 17-point game as A.J. Thomas gets the fast break lay.
And that timeout would have been a little better earlier when they started this run, but instead, 10-0 run there for the Germantown Red Devils. This game is almost out of reach.
Welcome back. We're about midway through the third quarter here, Tiger Stadium. It was a 7-point game. If you tuned out then, well, it's changed pretty quickly. In the span of about a minute and a half, it has gone back up to 17, the largest lead of the night, in no small part to Anthony Medlock here.
Yeah, he's been involved. Everybody's gotten involved. And, of course, it came on the Arlington second half early in the third quarter, and they haven't scored very many points, and it's because of those turnovers. As we said, you have to limit those as much as possible, and that's been half of their possession so far.
Simmons has played incredibly well for the Tigers here tonight, doing it all for them, but so far it just hasn't been enough.
And I think there's a little bit too much dribbling going on, not much passing, which that dribble leads him into the corner.
Hester has it, trying to drive in. He'll take it, fouls called on the floor with the push. It's going to be on number 11, A.J. Thomas, who just got that fast break layup, made his coach happy.
And if you want guys that are going to bring you back in a game, these are the ones. Guys that are going to be intense and special the whole time, not giving up on a play. But you've got to get involved in the scoring column and keep Germantown from stealing the ball from you. Good way to take it to the rack there by Hester.
They are going to call it a shooting foul, so a chance to cut this lead a little bit. First one off the mark doesn't help when you're trying to cut into a lead. Hester knocks down the second, cuts it to 16. It's going to take a lot more of those and maybe some threes and whatnot to get them back in.
Still not letting up the pressure, trying to keep the passing lanes from being attacked.
McFarland out to Dixon. Dixon thought about it, backs off, back to McFarland. Top of the key, working with his Germantown out to Medlock. He's deadly. Trying to cause the cross, but that ball is going to come straight out of bounds right by us. Jake's going to get some ball action.
You already know, I'm not on the team, but I did touch the ball. I think that's pretty solid. Maybe that touch will give Arlington some offense.
We'll see if they can hit a jumper here, but Nepo's been knocking it out of the park all night. We'll send it over to him for a quick sideline report.
Night long. Coach Brewer, he's telling his guys what they need to do. It's conversing all over the court. Germantown coaches, they're getting electric with their guys. They're subbing guys in and out. Anthony Medlock has been subbed out a few times. Arlington, they're subbing their guys out a few times. Coaches in Arlington have not been happy with some of the calls that have been made, and they're still trying to adjust to the play calling. Germantown, they're still being electric as they always are, and they're trying to keep the same game plan to stay ahead. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Nepo. There's the dunk from Mr. Medlock.
Napoleon, I'm so sorry that you missed that play. You just missed the best play of the game. As you're over there giving us your intelligent sideline report, hopefully he gets another one, even though it's on your own school.
Well, Medlock has been waiting for that one all night. There was nothing they could do to stop that from getting the bottom of the bucket. You know he was happy after that one.
I hate that for Napoleon. I cannot get over that. He's talking about Anthony Medlock's electricity, and he misses the electric dunk on the fast break. Hate that for him, but got to love that for Medlock. Coming home, getting a fresh dunk, just live in the crowd.
I don't know if you'd consider it coming home. Still lives in Memphis, maybe moved a little bit around, but Memphis is still his home, and
yeah, you get the point.
We're all supporting the M here.
I don't know, man. You hate on the M a lot to say that you support it.
I support the city of Memphis. Just because I don't support the teams that they so choose to sponsor does not mean that I don't have love for the city.
Gotta love it.
I'm a Tigers basketball fan when it comes to high school before I am anything else. But with Arlington Tigers, I am a fan of the ACS community schools, which does mean we should do a billboard now. Arlington Community Schools is a sponsor of tonight's game. Think, Create, Achieve. Arlington Community Schools. Jake, you get the opportunity to work with them.
Yes,
Great
sir.
experience. Just as this game has been for us, in no small part to Anthony Medlock's fast break dunk, as it is now over 20 points. And just like the girls did in their game in the second half, Germantown is doing it to the Arlington boys here now.
Yeah, you just don't have that go-to scorer because all of those guys that departed. And when you don't have that, it makes it a little bit tougher.
VJ Simmons with a step-back three. Looked like it was good, but falls short, then falls over the top of the backboard, and it's going to go back to Germantown.
And Coach Brewer taking out VJ Simmons for the sophomore Chase McIntyre. He's not playing around. There's not much that Blaine Brewer can do right now except hope that some guys get hot. It seems like he has a decent game plan, but nobody hitting the shots they need to at the moment.
Talked about it in the pregame. We knew that Arlington would stick around in the first half. They always do. They just don't seem to have the fire in the second half to contend with these top teams. Good defense there by McNeil, sticking with it under the screen and picking up the ball handler again here. And a dunk. DJ Allen found himself wide open, and the man who looks like he could play any sport he wanted.
No matter what team, a fan you're of, you got to love the athleticism of Germantown being displayed today.
What an interesting defensive approach. Swiping at the knees instead of the ball. It doesn't hit him, but forces him to think about if he's going to get hit.
That's a travel.
No travel called there, Jake. I'm sorry. Called on the floor, call a foul of some sort. I think it's against Arlington, so it's going to remain with Germantown.
I mean, for me, although I don't play high school basketball, typically what I like to do is touch the belly button of the offensive shooter. Brent knows that better than anybody. But right there, swiping at the knees. You could get too close to knock him over there, but it looks like that was just a stunt.
Yeah. Jake's favorite defensive move is definitely the belly button tap. Scares me all the time. Still hit the shot, though, so it's unimportant here.
We're not going to talk about how the little tickle is the only reason that happens is because I'm really late on the closeout.
McFarland hits a layup. Thanks, Jake.
Delivering all my little goods tonight.
Wow, Arlington's down 25. Another turnover here. He looked like he wanted to dunk it. Calling the charge there. Made the layup, no count. Good attempt there. Got really high in the air. Thought he might try to dunk it, but I think only a couple of people have that ability here right now.
Haven't seen much of Grady Turner tonight, but he enters the game, and maybe his smarts on the basketball court and off the court will help him. But the biggest thing about Turner that you want to watch for is his intensity. He's going to dive for every loose ball, and if you want to at least try to get back in the game, he's the guy.
And Uno 2 and 32 are on the court together here now. The brothers had a little bit of magic at the end of the Collierville game. We'll see if they can repeat that here. It's going to be McNeil trying to take the ball up.
That's a foul. They missed that one.
Triple teamed. No avail. Layup no good. Huffstetler gets in there for the board. Has McNeil wide open up the court. They throw it to him. Will he dunk it? No, but he'll get the layup anyway.
Two missed calls there. Probably a makeup call on the other end, but Hugh McFarland got absolutely nailed by Chase McIntyre on the hand, but no call there.
It's going to be Will Turner, the sophomore, squaring up with McFarland.
Yeah, good call there by the ref on Will Turner, holding on Hugh McFarland, and there's not much he can do. You got to remember that Will Turner is a sophomore. McFarland as well is a senior. The veteran guard going up against the young forward doesn't work very well. Had to use his hands to stay with him.
As we say every year, there's a lot of promise with this Arlington squad. I think the question more than ever now is, will it stay throughout the 4 years that they spend here at Arlington High School? We thought that this team was going to be one of the top teams coming in this year with all the pieces that they were returning. Only had one senior who didn't even start last year for this Tigers team, but losing 9 players over the offseason just put a detriment in this roster. And again, they will have that same opportunity here next year, a young team with guys like Lucas Huffstetler and VJ Simmons, Tyler McNeil, these players who are playing the majority of their minutes, that'll have another opportunity to show that this Arlington team is ready for the big spotlight. The question will remain, will they stick around?
And the hope is that they will, but that's what we thought was the bright light in the midst of a really bad season last year. Last year, the Tigers were still able to scrape away 9 wins. This year, only with 3, if that holds true tonight. But hopefully they can keep those guys around, as you said.
Grady Turner tried to stick it to the man there on DJ Allen, the big power forward. He does get the foul, no shot though.
Looked like Grady Turner tried to go up with just his body, and that's not going to work. You got to pump fake that, especially when you know DJ Allen's come out of nowhere, who just had that dunk.
First free throw just falls off, no good. We'll see if he can make do on the second one. Both teams in the bonus. Timeout is going to be called by Germantown.
30 seconds.
Luke McBride has not been in a while. Blaine Brewer electing to take out his starters and see if his second group can get some action. But last week against Collierville, looked like they were down as well, but the second group was able to bring back life against the starting unit for Collierville. We'll see if they can get involved and maybe make this a little bit closer.
Yeah, Jake, and it's been a one-team show here in the second half with Germantown dominating on the offensive end especially. Defensive has been a lot of turnovers that they forced, but offensively, they've done a great job of getting out in transition and finding ways to dunk that ball. It's not very hard when you're 6'6" and 6'5".
Turner back at the line, down 23 points. Germantown almost leading this Tigers team by more points than they scored. Just the second half lack of being able to put points on the board is the reason for this. They've got to figure this out if they want to make any stretch in district play.
This loss would put the Tigers at 0-4 in district play, and while every team does make the tournament, it's going to take a lot of momentum. Oh my goodness.
That's a tech right there.
That is a technical
Yeah,
foul.
good call.
Holding on the rim, being a little swagalicious, doesn't matter. If you miss it, got to make that dunk first of all. Called a tech, man.
Yeah, I think they missed a travel before that. Shuffled his feet to try to get in position to dunk the ball, but everybody was so focused. If he could dunk the ball, they weren't looking at the feet. I'm sorry, I've said that 100 times tonight with ref calls, but I've been a ref lately, and it's a lot easier to see all these travels now that people can get away with.
Boy, we love our refs.
Hey, they do a great job, for sure.
They do.
If you can only point out something wrong they do 10 times a game, they're doing a great job.
They're doing a swagalicious job.
Yeah, keep pulling that one out there for sure.
Swagalicious?
About as swagalicious as a mouthguard guy last week.
Dude, mouthguard guy is so swagalicious. I wonder what he's doing right now. Probably
vibing in that mouthguard against somebody.
Probably knocking down threes in that mouthguard.
Either that or he's hitting free throws with that mouthguard in.
He actually missed the free throws, but you know.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Either way, he's still mouthguard in my heart, mouthguard to everybody else.
All right, I'm going to stop this trend before we go a little bit too far into it. But yeah, this team has been showing out in all ways tonight, and I think the matchup, like it was last year, is going to be Germantown and Bartlett for that district championship. Would not be surprised if that was the matchup. Both teams are super athletic, super deadly from the three-point line, and they do not take pressure off in the backcourt.
Developing storyline right now. Chance Terry, who hasn't seen minutes here tonight, is currently hunched over on the end of the Germantown bench. Looks like he may be a little sick or going through something, but he does not look well there on the Germantown sideline. Arlington, no time left, throws it up. Maybe a foul there, not called. Probably a good call there, but his shot wouldn't have gone anyway, so it's all right. The score is 49-27, Germantown Red Devils over the Arlington Tigers.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second to none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
We are back here. Early fourth quarter action. Technical fouls were handed out while we were gone. I'm not sure what for.
I think it was on Coach Blaine Brewer. He looks heated over there on the bench.
I don't know what he could be heated at from Germantown, considering they've just played the better basketball game here tonight.
Well, you got to consider last week as well. In those last 2 minutes, he was more intense than he was the entire game, trying to get the most out of his guys as the time runs out. I think he's trying to focus on not dying when you're down and out, but instead trying to resurrect some life here.
Down 51-27 isn't a good start to resurrect that life, but we'll see if the Tigers have an end-of-game spurt here in them. Going to get called for the push there.
And I know the refs hate calling fouls this late in the game, but Arlington playing a little bit too physical to where they are fouling. And I know that gives them a rest and maybe a little bit of a chance to consider what they want to do on the offense. But, man, if you continue to allow Germantown to put points on the board, this could get out of hand a lot more than it is already.
Well, the Tigers really, these refs want to keep their integrity here, and making sure they call those calls keeps their integrity in check here. We don't want to just let it get away from them. Second free throw, no good. Offensive board, though, it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go to Arlington.
Arlington's lineup right now, two sophomores in the backcourt, Will Turner, Chase McIntyre, Lucas Huffstetler, the junior, Grady Turner. Really, really young lineup in here for the Tigers.
Medlock is coming back into the game late, along with Dixon, two of the star players for this Germantown team.
Oh my goodness, they're bringing back all
The entire
their
starting
starters.
lineup is coming into this game. Seems a little bit disrespectful, Jake, bringing back in the starters when you're already up 52-27.
I can see Madlock over there laughing a little bit. I think he may have requested this, trying to pound it on his former team.
I don't think Coach Brewer has noticed yet that the starters are coming back in, trying to draw up a play right now. I'm sure he's going to be a little bamboozled when he looks up and see Medlock streaking down the court for an open lane dunk.
And how would you respond to this, Brent, if you were in his position? Do you put your starters back in, or do you keep it with this young group?
The thing is, I don't see any reason to put the starters back in. I feel like in this situation, you're trying to work the young guys. The game is pretty much out of hand. I think it's a pretty disrespectful move by Germantown to throw the starters in when it seems like Arlington has already waved the towel. Just an unwritten rule that sometimes teams try to follow, but, you know, it's their game, so just the lowly commentator here.
No, I think you're right. Don't put in the starters back. Be the better man, but at the same time, your starting lineup is really young as well, so.
It's going to be McNeil with a good mid-range jumper, no good. And here come the Germantown starters.
Looks like they might try to get some action with some lobs or some dunks here, trying to put on a show.
Have no business being in this game, toying with the younger Arlington crew, and here comes McBride trying to avoid this mockery that Germantown is trying to show right now.
And who knows if it'll come to any avail. We'll see if that decision by Brewer pays off, as he looks like he is putting the starters back in the game.
Something that Brewer probably needs to do is no harm, especially you're not going to let them disrespect you on your home floor by sticking the starters in there and just letting them run the show on you. You know what the goal was with Medlock coming back in. They're trying to run fast break, get some off the backboard dunks here. I love the move by Brewer, showing that he's not going to put his foot down even if the game seems out of hand. McIntyre has it back out to McNeil. We'll see if something can get going to hold off a game that seems out of hand as VJ takes it in. First points in a minute.
Yeah, good take there by Simmons, and one thing that I like he did is a lot of layups. He decides to take two steps there, a move that Devin Booker likes to pull off a lot as well. Taking that one-step hop on that layup, prohibiting the defense from blocking it even when you are the shorter player.
And Medlock just waiting on the outside for an opportunity to crash into the paint. You know he was starting to go towards that corner there to get the baseline drive. Turnover first, though, so it holds off. Arlington not running with all the starters here. Just a couple of them are in the game, two to be exact. And VJ Simmons and Luke McBride 4 of the 5 starters are out on the court now for Germantown.
And you've got to be reminded that Medlock himself is already committed to Freed-Hardeman College to play D1, D2. He's one of those guys that, man, he's so talented, but, I mean, you look at it on this court, he's the most talented guy on the court by far, and still he's going into a higher D2 school, but not as great. Just shows the talent that is located in this Bartlett team that they're going to have to challenge in March.
Another turnover by Arlington, and at this point, I think it's time we turn it over to Nepo for another sideline report. Nepo, what do you got?
Clock's winding down. Time's not looking real good for the Tigers. Coach Brewer and the Tigers, you know, technicals have been before us. Like I said earlier, he's really energetic in the game, and, you know, things just take over for Germantown. As you just saw, they put in all of their starters back in the game, which is really crazy and insane, and to me kind of disrespectful. But I just think that as time's winding down, that Germantown just might take this one. And the Tigers can always improve. They can always keep working. Same thing for Germantown. They can always keep improving and keep working, and that's all I got to say. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, Nepo, for another great sideline report. Simmons looks a little heated after that three-pointer was no good. Looked like he got a little shove there after he landed. Was not happy about that. But McBride trying to work. Another air ball. Medlock's got it. He's on a mission right now. Maybe Dixon will dunk it. No, he clears it out.
There's just not much you can do here for Arlington. Luke McBride, the 6'6" center, so frustrated on that play that ball got tipped by the shorter DJ Allen on that play.
And I was just pulling your leg, guys. As much hops as I think Dixon has, I don't know if at 5'8" he's going to get up there. But I've seen Isaiah Thomas do it, so I'm not going to put it past him.
Our own Gabriel Torres is about that height and you do the same thing.
He does have that mean mid-range pull-up. It's no good there, though, as McIntyre pulls it back and hands it off to the point guard, Luke McBride. Sorry, had to have a little fun there.
And Arlington, again, bringing in their starters as well. Cruz Butler and Ant Hester on the sideline right now, about to check into this game.
Seems like a question of who's going to back off first, I guess, with McFarland coming back into the game and the other starters for Arlington coming back into the game. It's really like it's the beginning again, only Arlington starting out down 23.
Yeah, let's make that the line. If we need anything positive for Arlington, let that be the goal. Get inside 23 and hold it till the end.
McBride gets inbound, down inside and gets the lay to go. Timeout is called by the Tigers. Still confused on why the starters are in the game here. But as we have a second here, we are going to toss to another cheer profile here that we have for you on another senior cheerleader.
My favorite part about this season has probably just been watching the girls evolve into better cheerleaders than they were at the beginning of the season. Last year I was new to the team and didn't have much leadership. Just kind of sit back on the sidelines and watch and just kind of do the best you can. And second year is all about confidence and helping others. So taking a little bit of a leadership role is really fun. But at the beginning of the season, it was a little rocky. But as they've gotten more confident on the court, they've evolved in really good cheerleaders, and I think overall we've just become such a better team than we were last year.
Thank you for another wonderful cheer interview on one of our seniors here. 4 minutes exactly left in this game. All the starters are out practically. TJ McNeil is in this game as well, Tyler McNeil. But other than that, the stars, as you would call, are out. VJ Simmons getting pressed. Do not know why there is press this late in the game, up 23. But again, I'm just the humble commentator here.
You just got to learn to play all the way through the game. I guess that's what they're doing here, trying to make you know that you've got to play all 32 minutes. This is what they're doing here. That was the point of what they're doing. That's karma right there, missing that dunk. Trying to put up more than 30 points in a win against this Arlington team is just a little disrespectful.
Looked like a great move there for Cruz. Couldn't quite get it. He should smile it off knowing that he should be on the bench right now. Should deserve to be a foul on him. Another strike on karma maybe. I will say Arlington did bring the starters back in as well, so it goes both ways. But just something that you don't typically see.
Yeah, and this team does have a rivalry. Last time Germantown came in here, it was a lot closer than it needed to be. likely a reason for Germantown trying to stamp and solidify that they are the premier school when it comes to basketball.
Well, failed dunk attempt on the other end, led the free throws on this end, 1 for 2. It's going to make it 57-33 here. He is having another one. I thought he already took it, started to run back. It's because they let the subs in a little early.
They called it on the shot, I guess, but looked like it would have been on the floor.
Running very fast to get this ball down court. Press still being applied by Arlington. So both teams playing their cards. It just seems a little worse considering Germantown is up by how much they are.
They're just having fun at this point, trying to get as many points as possible.
Doesn't work there, but it is going to go out of bounds off Luke McBride. Good call there by the referee.
Luke a little confused by that one. I am as well, but when you've got the height, they're likely going to call it every single time when y'all both go up at the same time.
Medlock standing out the wing. Look for him to maybe get the ball here, crashing inside. Never mind, they kick it out. Medlock is searching for the ball here. It's going to go out to Dixon. Dixon trying to work. Not Dixon, that's McFarland. McFarland pulls up, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound up in the air. Goes out to 24, Terry, who was on the sideline hurting earlier, but he's in the game now. A little upset.
And one thing that Arlington needs to hang their head on right now is that they are playing to the whistle almost every single time. You see them on the perimeter. The guards, despite their height, are running and chasing everybody that gets the ball. I love to see that, not letting Germantown take a break. As you see Ant Hester get that steal.
Arlington's crashing the court. Easy layup blown there from Butler. Wide open is VJ Simmons for 3. He's taken a lot tonight. No good there. Offensive rebound, no good. Goes out to Medlock. Medlock stays down, tries to get it. No travel called.
Took 3 steps there.
3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really matter. We're going to let him go anyway. VJ heavily guarded here towards the side of the wing. McBride going to try and back down the smaller defender. He does it. Takes it in on Manning.
McBride has nothing to be ashamed about tonight. He's had a night of his own, bringing the offense back in this game at some points, but also controlling the paint, as you see there.
McBride with a big block. Another new face looks to be added to the lineup here tonight for Germantown. It appears to be number 22, Matthews, the sophomore, will sub in. 6'3". Another big player here for the Red Devils. Deep pass, backcourt, couldn't catch it there, and uh-oh.
Good hustle there by Butler to get down the floor.
Butler pulls up for 3. Can he cash it? No good. Wide open there. Point blank shot goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Arlington.
And again, all starters back in the game for both of these teams, playing till the end, which I think that's relevant for both teams because Coach Brewer trying to emphasize that we cannot give up after the first half. Germantown, rather, needs to know that if they want to win big games down the stretch, they're going to have to do the same thing.
And maybe the goal tonight was for Germantown to hit 60, and that's why the starters are in. Very physical play there. Luke McBride just tackles him to the ground. Double bonus here. So it will be 2 shots no matter what here. Assuming they hit the 60 mark. Medlock going over to talk to coach. Looks like he might come out of the game if they hit 60. We'll see. As the starters for Arlington are about to take a seat again.
I think he'll want one more dunk. Hopefully nothing that would happen that allow him to be injured because he shouldn't be in the game right now. He's really taking a risk with his own body. Hopefully nothing happens to him.
And there they go. VJ Simmons, the only starter on the floor, but along with Cruz Butler, Cruz does stay in the game. Real story is Medlock, the committed basketball prospect, is still in the game and what is a blowout with less than 1:30 left. Looking for the highlight play, I'm assuming, wondering why he's still in the game, and here we go. He looks like he wants it, eyes on the rim. Easy lay, easy assist, avoids the contact there.
He's still got some time to do what he wants, but
and
I
there
really
it
do
is.
hate it.
Takes the lay. I don't know why he fell to the ground there. That was a risky play for himself, considering he really didn't get much contact. I mean, he had VJ Simmons, who's about 6.5 inches shorter than him and probably about 20 to 30 pounds, if not more, smaller than him, just apparently blow him to the ground.
He did get slapped in the face a little bit on that play. but he still goes to the line. Arlington trying to not allow him what he wants.
And I commend Arlington for that. If it's anything that would make me mad if I was in his position, I asked to come back into this game so I can get that highlight play that I'm wanting. It's if I get fouled every time and have to get sent to the line for free throws. That would make me yuck. So I'm glad that they're kind of holding him to it and sticking it to him for wanting to come back in this game. Looks like he is going to make his exit, though, as the sub does not come in. Until now, Medlock will sub out. Doesn't seem too ecstatic about it, but should have been out a long time ago, resting those legs, getting ready for the next game.
And really, I know we're not necessarily hating on him, but he did come in crunch time at the end where you don't really need to be in the game.
Yeah.
But overall, he played well. He had a very, very good game tonight, scoring on all levels. The defensive prowess is really what made him stand out tonight and taking advantage of those fast breaks.
And it's not us trying to knock on the players personally. It's just unwritten rules of basketball would say when you're up 20 plus, 30 plus at the end of the game, when there's no need to run the starters out there, you typically don't throw them back in there, especially if you're the team that's winning. Typically, if a team's losing, they may throw the guys back in there to try to get them some minutes, try to see if they can get something going. But most of the time, especially not the winning team, they don't pull the starters back in with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah,
so
nothing to be ashamed about for him tonight, though. He's had a very solid game, and either way, I would be very, very impressed with him and encouraged, because if he can play like this against bad teams, obviously he's a 20-point-per-game scorer, but you're going to need him to play as well as he did tonight when he goes into district play.
Another 20-plus point game performance for Mr. Medlock here tonight. Not bad at all, getting those points up on the board to keep his scoring total intact. Less than a minute left. Deep three. That's going to be an air ball. Number 15, Gage Gallagher. Good Euro. Looks like that was number 10, Cody Dixon, maybe the brother of Ja'Cory Dixon.
Maybe so.
And a turnover there, almost averted by Will Turner. Outside again from three, Gage Gallagher. He's going to knock it in. First one an air ball, second one straight down the money.
Just had to get warmed up. He's been on the bench almost the entire game.
Not almost.
Good to see him get involved.
Game's winding down, but Germantown does not seem to want to hold it out. Turnover there. Cruz Butler, dunk it. No dunk, foul's called. He's going to go to the line. 2 more free throws. And now that we have an opportunity to, we can take a look at what is up next coming up around AHS Tiger Life. Up next will be the wrestling matchup of the century, probably, between Arlington and Bartlett. Always a rivalry matchup when these two schools get together on a Thursday night. We'll see what that has in store for us. Make sure to tune into that on AHS Tiger Life.
And Arlington Wrestling is the premier program, if you want to call it that, at Arlington High School. So many people the past few years have come out of it, gone D1, gone to colleges, because that is how good this program is.
They are one of the premier programs here at Arlington High School. The school has a lot of good programs to offer, that's for sure. As the buzzer sounds, Germantown knocks it in, that buzzer beater highlight play that you always love to see, Jake. It was another great night. Kind of sum it up for us.
It was a great night, but either way, both teams were blowout games. Arlington destroyed Germantown in the girls' game, but the opposite here. They flipped the script on us. Germantown takes this one with relative ease. Arlington, in the back half of this last game, had a chance, just could not get on the board when they needed to.
That's typically how it's worked when the girls and guys teams square off together. They both take the court. Girls go first. They get their dominating done. And so far for the boys, it has not been that easy for them, as they have done the latter half of what the girls have done to the opposing team.
Yeah, but either way, it was 2 really good matchups. The scores at the end of the games did not represent how intense it was, as you saw with both the starting groups and at the end of the game.
And now we're going to send you over to Napoleon Richardson for another sideline report with the winning coach.
Thank you, Brent. I'm here with the Germantown coach. Can you tell us your name?
Coach Spears.
Coach Spears. And we're going to ask you some questions today. Coach Spears, leading to the victory today, what are some successes that came over from this game?
Well, we started out sluggish, and we knew, even though Arlington has been, been having a rough season, we knew at home, and we knew they were going to come out swinging. So we knew we had to attack hard, and then, like I said, they did. They came out, they swung first, they hit us, and we had to rebound back. But we figured if we could just keep the pressure on, we know they're kind of young, we figured that we would hopefully prevail in the end. But, hey, it was tough early on. And I know they've been, having a tough season so far, but it was tough early on. Believe me, they had us going deep in the playbook.
What were some key moments from your guys that helped you, come to success?
I think right before halftime, we got a couple of turnovers, and right after halftime, we got a couple of turnovers, and then obviously we built the lead a little bit bigger, and from that point, I think we played a little bit loose. But as long as the lead was close, I think we were kind of tight. But once we got a couple of turnovers right before half and right after half, I think we kind of started to play a little bit loose.
If you had to spotlight a couple guys on your team, who would you spotlight for tonight's game?
Madlock, he was a former student of here, but Anthony Madlock, Hugh McFarland, that first five, but those two definitely, I think they kind of led the way, started rebounding and doing some good things to help us stretch that lead out.
All right, last question, Coach. Going back to practice, what are some things you and your players will work on?
Just kind of looking at the film tonight. I'll probably look at the film, staying up late, and just not coming out with the energy. We got to come out, We play a team, especially like Arlington, which I told them honestly that I felt would be dangerous. I have a daughter that goes here, and she was like, Dad, I think they're ready. So the fact that, we knew that they would down. Anytime you get a team that's down, the best thing for them to do is just swing for the fences and hope the best. And I think they did that. And we had to be ready. So we'll go back and look at the tape and try to make some corrections.
All right, thank you, Coach. And by the way, congratulations on your win.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nepo, for another great sideline report and another great night here at AHS Tiger Life. Our next live stream is going to be Tuesday, January 17th against the Cordova Wolves. But that is going to do it for us here at the desk. It's been a great night. Brent Lyons, Jake Stoop, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Chicken grease.